not that. Give me everything, Joe, it is. Come on.
You know what it is?
You know what it is.
Are you kidding me?
No, not that. Give me everything, Joe, it is. Come on.
You know what it is?
You know what it is.
Are you kidding me?
No, not that. Give me everything, Joe, it is. Come on.
You know what it is?
You know what it is.
Are you kidding me?
No, not that. Give me everything, Joe, it is. Come on.
You know what it is?
You know what it is.
Are you kidding me?
No, not that. Give me everything, Joe, it is. Come on.
You know what it is?
You know what it is.
Are you kidding me?
No, not that. Give me everything, Joe, it is. Come on.
You know what it is?
You know what it is.
Are you kidding me?
No, not that. Give me everything, Joe, it is. Come on.
You know what it is?
You know what it is.
Are you kidding me?
No, not that. Give me everything, Joe, it is. Come on.
You know what it is?
You know what it is.
Are you kidding me?
No, not that. Give me everything, Joe, it is. Come on.
You know what it is?
You know what it is.
Are you kidding me?
No, not that. Give me everything, Joe, it is. Come on.
You know what it is?
You know what it is.
Are you kidding me?
No, not that. Give me everything, Joe, it is. Come on.
You know what it is?
You know what it is.
Are you kidding me?
No, not that. Give me everything, Joe, it is. Come on.
You know what it is?
You know what it is.
Are you kidding me?
No, not that. Give me everything, Joe, it is. Come on.
You know what it is?
You know what it is.
Are you kidding me?
No, not that. Give me everything, Joe, it is. Come on.
You know what it is?
You know what it is.
Are you kidding me?
No, not that.
Grit with the winter so cold. Mama praying hard just to keep her soul. Young black king trying to break the mold. Yeah. 17.
Hey, it's your man Zen Master on a Friday night, late night, West Coast online. It's almost 9 in the PM out here. Portland, Oregon, you know what we do. We got it going tonight. We got a hell of a show for you. We're going to break down all the latest drama, all the latest controversy. It all seems to be coming out of LA for some reason. I don't know what's going on in Los Angeles, what's in the water these days. Let me pick up my mic so y'all can hear me a little better. But I don't know what's going on with LA and what's in the water these days, man. But it's beef central. And what can you say? Poetik Flakko is picking up the mantle for all of podcasting in the name of fair use. I want to talk about Poetik Flakko versus Corey Holcomb before we look at a clip. But I have not spoken on this controversy at length with Corey Holcomb. I did leave a community post as I navigate. Pardon me for looking up at my screens, but I did leave a community post regarding Corey Holcomb at the outset of his latest set of escapades, but I haven't spoken publicly about it until now. So without further ado, let's get it on. I started watching Corey Holcomb's 5150 show in 2014 after the police murder of Walter Scott in Charleston, South Carolina. Walter Scott was gunned down, shot in the back while running away, and the officer was caught on video planting a gun on Walter's body after he shot him dead. The outrage that I felt, the outrage that many people felt at the time was tremendous, as you can imagine. You know, that's not something to be taken lightly. So, you know, you're looking for media basically to support how you feel. You know how it is. Something that happens in the world, we all go to media to try to, either validate our assumptions or, cancel our assumptions about certain things. And when that happened, I found Corey Holcomb's 5150 show, and Corey Holcomb was an incredible voice for black people at that moment. Corey hadn't even seen the footage of the police execution. He hadn't even seen it yet. But once Zoe Williams told him what had happened, Corey guessed what happened off the bat. And the truth is that unabashed, unfiltered, uncensored aspect of Corey Holcomb is what made him great And it's also what's tearing his ass down. Corey Holcomb has no filter. He doesn't. A comedian is a comedian, and most of them struggle with filters in general, but Corey is in particularly bad with filters. So this latest dust up with Anton Daniels, I saw it coming a mile away. No big deal as far as I'm concerned. More barbecue chicken, nothing to worry about. Typical, right? I'm not going to call nobody a punk. I'm not going to call nobody a bitch. None of that stuff for not fighting, right? But I will say, for all his tough guy shenanigans, for all his threats of violence to other people, and for his violence against a woman in particular, Corey has shown that he is less willing to fight with men who are willing to fight with him, and that he is more willing to sell wolf tickets than anything. And I hate to say that, Corey, but you've been a wolf ticket selling motherfucker for a while now. Let's keep it real. And after you broke your wrist, I'm sure it was in the back of your mind you didn't really want to throw punches. Because if it was me, my first thoughts would have been, I'm going to lay this nigga out, make him catch himself on the ground. I know his wrist is fucked up. I know he can't hit me hard because his wrist is jacked up. It's going to hurt him as much to hit me as it is for me to get hit by him. That's number one. The other thing is that Corey is always strapped, always packing, right? He brags about keeping that goddamn it on him all the time. Then he gets into a kerfuffle with Christina Payne, and all of a sudden he don't know what a gun is. You full of shit, bro. You full of shit. Then came the pedo compilations. Now, I might have heard one or two of those things over the last 12 years. And I'm sure I raised an eyebrow just like D did, just like Craig and everybody else around him did when he said those things. But on a one-off basis, those things are not a big deal, right? They're like, it's a joke. When you see a compilation, it ain't a joke no more. It's a pattern. And it's what Freudian would call classic projection or a Freudian slip. A Freudian slip is more unintentional, but classic projection is more like when a person projects or expresses their deepest desires onto other people in the form of insults, jokes, etc. So Corey joking about sex with young girls, he's projecting his desires, in my opinion. Anybody who talks about young girls the way Corey Holcomb has talked about young girls is suffering from a state of arrested development. In my opinion, Corey's mind and his vision haven't evolved from the time when he was 16 years old and viewed 16-year-old girls as attractive. When you're a 16-year-old boy, damn near everything is fair game to you. A 13-year-old girl, a 19-year-old girl, any girl you can get your hands on at 16 is fair game for you. And they all look good because you have adolescent eyes. But at some point, your eyes evolve and you start seeing grown-ass women. And when you start seeing grown-ass women, there ain't a teenage girl in the world that can compare to the sexiness of a grown-ass woman. Ain't one in the world. And there's some beautiful teenage girls, but a grown-ass woman that got her stuff together, knows how to come to bed with her lingerie game and all that, boy, that's irreplaceable. That's irreplaceable. You hear me? I don't want to get too personal, so I'll check myself before I wreck myself. And just say that the evidence against Corey Holcomb is pretty incontrovertible. Both the physical assault and the PDF allegations. I mean, no one's saying that Corey has violated, although he jokes about going to Iceland and violating what would be American norms in Iceland, but not necessarily Icelandic norms. Cultural relativism at its worst, if you will. When in Rome, do as the Romans do at its worst, if you will. That's not how Americans, that's not how men are supposed to operate. Americans, we take our values with us around the world. Right now, we're not a great example of values. I understand that. But we take our values with us around the world. We don't check them at the door. We are ambassadors for our values wherever we go. That's how we basically market our country to others. We don't go to their countries and wild out. Militarily, we do horrible things. But personally, on an interpersonal level, when I'm out of the country, I'm exceptional in my behavior. I want people to know I'm an American, and I'm going to be polite and friendly as I can be. I've been to Japan, I've been to South Korea, I've been to China, I've been to Mexico, I've been to Nassau, Bahamas. I live a couple hours from Canada. I've never been to Canada. But I've been abroad. And you just can't leave your values at home. Corey Holcomb. So I spoke on it. Corey's views are going down precipitously. Poetik Flakko's been pointing that out for weeks now, how Corey is losing audience share, and Corey notices, and he is front of mind when it comes to dealing with Poetik Flakko and addressing Poetik Flakko, and that is the source of this beef, because he looks at Poetik Flakko as the most valuable 5150 Corey Holcomb critic out here. Poetik Flakko made $70,000 in a month, essentially, which he probably got a good $20,000 booth off of 5150 all by itself, just talking about Corey. So big up to Flakko for that. But Corey sees that his revenue is dropping because his views are going down. He got canceled shows, which also causes his revenue to drop. So now Corey wants to do member stuff and squeeze his audience for money, stuff he should have been doing all along. Super chats, all that good stuff he should have been doing all along. With a platform getting 300,000 views, you should have been squeezing the juice out of that thing all this time. But now you need the money because you're back on the chitlin circuit. Sad, man. Sad. 5150 is a shell of what it used to be. It is nothing but a gripe session, a bitch session. Every week, Corey Holcomb can't even stay on topic long enough to not bitch. They'll be talking about football, and all of a sudden, Monkey K will come up in his mind. That's another thing I want to bring up. Corey Holcomb, you know what? Fuck you, Corey, for calling 3 black women, at least 3 dark-skinned black women, monkeys. Fuck you for that. All right? My mother's a dark-skinned black woman. My sister is a dark-skinned black woman. My daughter is a dark-skinned black woman. So fuck you for that. All right? You think you can get away with it because you're black. Fuck you. All right? Fuck you, Corey. I'll defend black women to the death of me. Anyway, without further ado, let's take a look at Poetik Flakko's latest video. Flakko went in as Corey Holcomb is threatening to sue him now. No lie. Corey's threatening to sue for defamation of character based on next to nothing. I thought I had the video queued up, folks. I don't, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull it up here real quick. And then we'll take a listen to what Flakko had to say in this tremendous video of his. I thought was the capstone course of all this. Flakko had taken the time, literally took the time to advise other YouTubers on how to beat Corey Holcomb.
It has came to my attention that
how to beat Corey Holcomb at the game he's trying to play. So he's doing it not just for himself, man. He's doing it for everybody out there that relies on fair use to make their criticism and make a living doing this stuff on YouTube. I don't make a whole lot of money on YouTube right now. Most of my money is generated from shorts. But if I ever need to, believe me, I'm going to be on here talking shit. And I don't want to be sued for it. Again, without further ado, Poetik Flakko, let's break down what he had to say.
it has came to my attention that Mr. Corey Holcomb had an absolute meltdown on his show and threatened to sue me over my last YouTube video about him. The last Corey Holcomb video I dropped must have been a classic because Corey Holcomb is absolutely spiraling over that video. The reason why people love these videos and why they're so good is because I'm just reacting to Corey Holcomb's own words. And if his words are defamation, then he needs to sue himself, not me. The videos are destroying Corey Holcomb's psyche and his confidence. And we know this because Corey Holcomb is making changes and reacting in real time during his podcast to these videos. In my last videos, or in one of the last videos, I mentioned how Corey Holcomb numbers are plummeting, how he used to do 300,000, 280,000 views per episode, and now he's doing like 120, 140, 150. But me mentioning that Corey Holcomb views were plummeting affected him so much that the first thing he did on his episode this week was have a view check.
Once again, 5150 crew. Hey, how many likes did that video get last week we did? The 5150 show. Look it up and let me know. Because they say the
So you see he's cognizant of the fact that he's losing audience share. That's happening, all right? Really, man, all he got to do is get off the bullshit. Whatever happens with Christina Payne is going to happen. All he really got to do is get off the bullshit and get back onto his show. But Corey's stuck on stupid when it comes to this, and Corey is addicted to drama, so he loves this. Corey's never happier than when he's got some damn drama.
show dying.
Hell no. I don't even pay them no attention.
The show dying, y'all. How many likes did it get? Do anybody know? I'm talking about how many likes did it get when we, for the week so far?
Look at Craig. Look at Craig cringing, y'all. Craig is cringing. He knows this ship is going down. Craig, you a real one. You a motherfucking real one. I gotta say, brother, I don't agree with everything you say or do. You know that. You supported Donald Trump, and I'm gonna ride you to the hilt for that. But the way you play this nigga, Craig Smith, the way you play this nigga, Corey Holcomb, is second to none. You know just how to feed this nigga the bullshit he wants. You know just the pablum he needs to be fed to keep him happy and to stay in his good stead. Craig Smith is a master in manipulating Corey Holcomb. He has studied psychology. I know he has. He studied psychological disorders. And Craig has figured out exactly how to manipulate this nigga long enough to be number two, the second longest survivor of this show. This is literally Survivor Los Angeles. Hats off to Craig Smith. You want a smart nigga.
It's been a week. How many people watched the show?
150,000.
Is that 150,000?
Yes, sir.
I thought it was more than that, but okay, 150,000.
Finna roll
So we
up.
gotta get better as a show. It's only 150,000 people saw it.
Yeah.
Y'all, it's hilarious.
You know, some people get a feel just on being acknowledged. They feel like they win it.
Yeah, because people are watching. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
People.
See that? That's Craig feeding Corey's ego. He knows exactly what to say to keep the boss happy. Pay attention. Craig is not a yes man. I agreed with y'all before. I thought Craig was a yes man before too. Craig is not a yes man. Craig is a master manipulator. Pay attention.
People will watch a big sissy be sassy on the internet and talk crazy to a man.
Corey, it brings me no pleasure telling you this, but over the last week or two, your reputation has been destroyed and ruined by yourself beyond repair. Like, the minute this came out of your mouth, the world stopped considering you a man and started considering you a effing weirdo.
Hey, you don't have to be no 18. I think it was 13, maybe 14.
Yeah.
That's a grunt. The vagina been on this planet 14 years.
14?
I don't know if y'all noticed, but that particular video said compilation part 5. Part 5. There's at least five parts to a compilation of Corey Holcomb making nasty comments about young girls.
Oh, yeah?
He's a nasty
Yeah,
nigga,
14 years is still young. What are you saying right now, man?
I've said this before on the show also. Do you know if a woman 16 years old gives you a baby, that is going to be 16, 17, 18, 19. That is going to be one of the healthiest babies possible.
Which, by the way, goes without saying, it was just a lie. But Corey Holcomb don't care about the facts. Teen pregnancy is a high-risk pregnancy. It's not the healthiest baby
Right.
you will have. But Corey Holcomb don't like and think we're lame.
How are you still in your growth process as a person, but your body is at its peak for carrying a child? That don't make no sense. You're still going through hormonal changes and growth processes physically. So you could literally be growing as you're pregnant. That don't make no damn sense, man. Corey's disgusting for this shit.
Lame and weird for talking about his numbers, but as far as I'm concerned, that's just us giving Corey Holcomb his own medicine. So Corey Holcomb don't like us pointing out how his numbers are falling drastically, how his numbers have fallen dramatically from like 300,000 views to 150 now. He don't like that, but he can come on his show and make fun of the small content creators on YouTube doing 92 views. That's okay, but us pointing out how your numbers has fallen is not.
I
mean, that's a perfect statement because 5150 is nothing but a grown-up version of the Wendy Williams show. It is an adult gossip show. That's all it is. It used to be more relevant. It used to be more topical, more, current events, more political. But now they're just trying to fit into the internet slop like everybody else. They're not even trying to be original anymore, and it's sad. It really is. They need an executive producer. Darlene, I know you're trying your best, but baby girl, you ain't got it. You ain't got it. This show needs an executive producer, and they need to basically tell Corey to shut the fuck up about the drama. We're gonna stick to the script. If the drama is in the script, the drama's in the script, but stick to the damn script. Because the show it's awful. And all you got now are diehards, I'll be honest with you. That's all you got now. And they are in their late 50s and 60s, and they're not dying that hard anymore. So Corey better get it right, man. I know he's trying to arrive at some new mathematical equation here, buddy, but you can't flip physics on YouTube. You are not going to be able to do the type of shit you're trying to do.
just don't understand how but look, attention. There are some people who would not have no attention. The 92 people who watch their video gives them the drive to keep.
Would Corey Holcomb have attention if he wasn't on comedy stages, if he hasn't been a comedian since he was 20 or 21 years old? Who clamors more for attention than people in the entertainment industry? Who? I'll wait.
Talking because somebody's listening.
You go out of your way to talk down to these people and call them losers and make fun of how many views they get, but when I do it to you, all of a sudden is weird. You see how Corey Holcomb don't like his own medicine? And that's why it's kind of hard to even go back and forth for Corey Holcomb, because Corey Holcomb, he lacks a foundation for his moral compass. So it's hard to argue with somebody who don't have a moral base, right? He don't have a foundation for his beliefs. So instead, we'll just make fun of him, right? Because there's nothing worth talking to Corey about. Having somebody make fun of you don't feel good. It's not a good feeling. But unfortunately for Corey, that's my constitutional right. I can make fun of you. I could say whatever I want to say. And there's not a legal threat out here, Corey, that you could use to scare me out of making these videos about you and reacting to your own words.
Right.
But Corey Holcomb is apparently trying or attempting to intimidate me with legal threats as if I'm like a little boy or something.
It's just shit.
Sad.
Man, what's up?
Fucking
5150, the most hated on show by the Backdoria mob ever. They have assembled. But
Get some new jokes.
we are 5150 show. We are proud to be hated on by all of I ain't gonna never make it big time bloggers, the Backdoria guys that's been sent after me. Let me tell y'all something, man. There's a lot of y'all people new. I'm not gonna go back and forth with a big sissy. Y'all, if that turn you on, if that make you feel like, oh, let the big sissy say what they gonna say. I know the big sissy is banned from Hollywood. I know that much.
Yeah, right.
Talking shit in the safety of where you at. That's why I sent the cease and desist, so I know where you at. This is chess. This is.
Corey thinks he's a gangster, and he likes to play little gangster games with his little gangster friends. And I'm just gonna speak the real. When the Zoe fallout happened, I made a video. I might have been one of the first reaction videos to the Zoe fallout that did 30,000 something. It did a lot of views, right? Scared me. That was the first time I had a big live. I wasn't really living like that. And so I heard from Corey's man Gooch a little later, a little roundabout the way. Now, the way they did it was they didn't come at me sideways. They came at me on some business shit because I was making beats at the time, right? I was producing music. And so Gooch came at me on making music for him and Yuck Mouth's show, which I did. I produced a dope-ass track for them. It even had the Wonder Twins sample in it because their show was called Wonder Twins. So me and Gooch get to talking about the terms and conditions and whatnot. All of a sudden, he brings up the fact that I'm friends with, or was friends with, White PMS. White PMS is a goofy nigga out of Minnesota who owes me $200. If you're watching or if you know him, remind him that he still owes me $200 from a couple years ago. No, I ain't hurting for it, but yeah, I want my fucking money back. It belongs to me. And I was kind enough to lend you that money and let you keep it long enough so your daughter could have a good Christmas, you bitch ass nigga. Anyway, because I was friends with White PMS at the time, Gooch was going after him heavily and anybody associated with him. So we wound up severing our business connection because of me being friends with White PMS. Gooch is a blood. He's a LA blood. He's a real thing. He's probably not active. He's in his late 50s, maybe early 60s. Went to nursing school, from what I understand, recently. And that's cool. I ain't got nothing against Gooch. He didn't say nothing out of pocket to me, really. But I knew the message. I got the message, right? I knew what they were trying to get at. And then I saw how aggressive they were with other creators back then. So I just stayed away from making 5150 related content. I didn't want the beef, right? Wasn't worth it to me. Eventually, I stopped watching 5150. So now I only watch 5150 through the eyes of Poetik Flakko, and I still watch Craig Facts. But just a little more history on me and my relationship with the show.
Not checkers. We got to know where you at. You know what I'm saying? You know I know where you at because you got that cease and desist. But anyway, Big Sissy, good luck to you with all your hate on the show, all you guys.
Y'all don't understand how mad I was, how pissed off I was, how angry I was when I checked my email and seen no cease and desist. And I checked my mailbox and seen no cease and desist. So it looks like Corey Holcomb may have sent the cease and desist to the wrong address that he probably just found online somewhere. As if when I became a public figure, I still included my residential address on my ID. No, I don't, buddy, all right? So my address is not online, right? Because it's not on my ID. Right? I'm not stupid enough to do that. But I was pissed off, bro, because I'm like, bruh, I missed an opportunity to get like 200,000 views easily, man. Do you understand if Corey Holcomb would have not been incompetent and actually mailed me that cease and desist to my address? Do you understand? Do you understand the amount of kikiing and act of fooling we would have done on this channel? I would have read that cease and desist to you guys, man, in full. We would have had a ball, man. We would have had a blast with that cease and desist. But he didn't send it. Or if he did send it, he sent it to the wrong address.
Sorry, y'all. I got
So,
it.
Corey, my email address is poetic@flaccollc.com, all right? Or hit up Craig, all right? I reached out to Craig and let Craig know, hey, tell Corey I will give him my address for him to send it to it if he wants the address. Or you could just email it.
Real shit right there.
Right? Or I'm going to hit up a mutual. I'm going to hit up Macca, right? And then Macca can give you the address to send a cease and desist to, Corey. Corey, please send the cease and desist. I want the cease and desist. Because the cease and desist will clarify a lot of things for us. Corey says that we've been lying on him. Well, in a cease and desist, you would have to list out what the lies that we've been saying are. That's what I was curious, because as far as I know, I've been well within the legal grounds in how I discuss you. And because I haven't gotten a cease and desist, I don't know what the quote-unquote lies are. But send the cease and desist. Corey, just email it.
Send the video.
Email it a cease and desist is still legal. Send it, man.
Send the video.
Oh, don't threaten me with a good time, man. Now, it looks like Corey Holcomb has been talking to some LA busters and dweebs and marks that I done marked out.
Some marks.
Right? Because any LA dude telling you, Corey, that I'm hiding from LA, I was just in LA. I did the podcast with T-Rel in LA like last week.
Oops.
So I was just in LA.
Oops.
All right? Like, but sir, like I'm back and forth to LA often. But it looks like Corey Holcomb was probably hit up, right, by some LA dweebs and busters who don't like me already, telling him, oh, yeah, listen, man, he's not in LA. He left, bro. He left because he hiding. Bro, ain't nobody hiding from nobody in LA, bro. Who am I hiding from in LA? Corey Holcomb? Who? Who? It makes no sense whatsoever, bro. Now, Corey Holcomb is saying, like, oh, he's trying to find me. Oh, he sent a cease and desist so I know that he knows where I'm at. Corey, first of all, I didn't get a cease and desist. But secondly, yo, you don't gotta work that hard. I would give you the address. If you want to pull up, you can pull up, Corey.
Right.
I'm giving you permission. You could come to my front door, Corey. You could come to my front door, all right, if you want to, Corey.
That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing as hell. You're getting called out directly by this man. He is telling you to pull up. Directly. He is not worried about your ass. As he should not be. Man, I'm tired of this shit. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm tired of would-be, wannabe, fake-ass gangsters. Especially guys in their 60s or late 50s who still want to hold on to being some sort of street figure when he ain't been a street figure in his whole damn life. We got the chat viewer up now, so if you want to leave a comment, I will see it live right there beside Poetik Flakko. But yeah, Corey needs to grow up, man. Definitely needs to grow up. This wannabe gangster shit at his age. You are not a GD. You ain't from State Street no more. You ain't been on State Street since you was a kid. Cut it out, man. That was 40 years ago. Cut it out. Grow up.
I think you understand. This ain't LA. This is North Dakota, homie. Like,
right.
Hey, man. Yo, it's an even playing field, homie. There ain't no. It's an even playing field. There ain't no license needed. Ain't no rights needed.
Nothing.
It's open carry, homie.
And I bet you any money, he ain't got no neighbors. Where he lives, he ain't got no neighbors. He gonna see you coming from a mile away and have that smoke ready. Guaranteed.
So, no, I'm not terrified of you knowing my address or you and your goons pull up, bruh. Because that was the next strategy, right? Like, him and Craig was talking about how dudes been hitting them up, letting them know if they need to handle something and how the goons gonna come. I said, man, listen, man. I'm not scared or terrified of the geriatric goons who are gonna slide for 60-year-old Corey Holcomb, okay? I'm safe.
Consequences is gonna be the consequences. You know, you just can't play victim when it's your time to get the attention that you've been asking for. Cause look, we both get calls from that say shit like, "Hey man, let me handle that for you."
The only consequences that's gonna come from making more videos about Corey Holcomb is probably, I don't know, a sore throat, Paul. No. Oh, pause, man. Not a sore throat. A sore throat from talking too much, because the way I be articulating, you know, man, I'll be articulating, man. You know, I'll be talking, man. That's why. Right? No backdoor activities. Pause, man. But that's the only consequence, man. Like, nothing else. I'm not terrified at all. But Corey does his best to try to put fear in me during this episode, man. Watch how he throws out hints as to where I am when, like, me being in North Dakota is not a secret, Corey. Everybody knows I'm in North Dakota.
So let me ask you this, Craig.
See, this is what happens when you pick on somebody your own size. This is what happens when you pick on somebody your own size. He ain't worried about you. He can fight you legally. And that's really all he's worried about. He know ain't nobody going to pull up in North Dakota. He ain't worried about L.A. When you're in Los Angeles, L.A. is so big. Unless you're in the hood and people know you, it is impossible to be found in Los Angeles. It is so freaking big. Ain't nobody worried about Corey. Who gonna mob up for Corey Holcomb? Get the fuck out of here.
You watch people speak on a subject that you might speak about, or that the next person might speak about. And then at the end they say, so what do you think about this? Isn't that like a sellout way of talking shit about somebody? Because why are you asking everybody what do they think about this? What do you think about this should be the question as you make commentary on somebody.
A lot of y'all probably didn't catch that. If you watch my videos, you know at the very end, I ask people what they think. Usually the last 10 seconds. That means Corey Holcomb is watching my videos to the very end. He's my biggest fan, man. But the raging narcissist, again, this is not a diagnosis, this is my opinion. But the raging narcissist within Corey Holcomb, in my opinion, can't seem to fathom why I would want to hear from my audience, why I would want their opinion and their take on things. Because according to him, I'm the star. Why I want to hear what they have to think? No, bro, they the stars. Okay, without them, I'll be homeless. Right? It's really that simple.
Right.
There's no way I will let the world give their opinion without me giving my opinion first.
Right.
Because I'm not a coward. Even though some people, their opinion is set up to try to bring down everybody. I am
Did y'all hear that bullshit?
a witness. Give their opinion.
I want to hear what they have to think. No, bro, they the stars. Okay, without them, I'll be homeless. Right? It's really that simple.
Listen to this.
There's no way I will let the world give their opinion without me giving my opinion first.
Right.
Does that make a damn bit of sense to you? It sure don't make no sense to me.
Because I'm not a coward. Even though some people, their opinion is set up to try to bring down everybody. I am a witness of, I'm going to use Craig for example, and you tell me the same about me.
Right.
I watch Craig's commentary on things that we talk about on this show. Craig isn't always trying to destroy somebody.
No.
That's the reason Craig isn't hiding out in a location in the Dakotas where if you come to a big city and somebody see you, don't be at you.
Right.
Contrary to Corey Holcomb's belief, I live a pretty peaceful life, man. All right. I live a pretty good life, bro. All right. I got a house in Katy, Texas. That's a big city. Houston is near Houston. That's a big city. All right. I lived in LA. I still got my apartment in LA. All right. I've been there since 2022. I think Corey thinks like I'm in North Dakota hiding out. Bro, I was raised in North Dakota. Like, this is where I'm from, bro. Like, I was raised there. Like, this is comfort. This is home for me. So I don't know, like, what this belief is of kind of throw out Dakota. Bruh, I'm not terrified. I'm not scared of none of that, bruh. If you got my address, whoever is calling you, telling you they want to handle it, tell them pull up and see how that ends out for them.
There you have it. The utter lack of fear. This is what you want to see. This is what we've been waiting for. Somebody to come out and really give it to this dude when it comes to his threatening everybody. Corey, you're a comedian. Be a fucking comedian. If you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen. But stop threatening everybody. Sooner or later, this shit is going to come back on you. In the physical. Sooner or later, you're going to piss off the wrong person. They're going to show up. Sooner or later. And now, you're on the ropes. You really need to be working on your image. Grow up.
All right? At all, man. Now, Corey will go on and claim that because of the lies being told on him, mind you, he don't name the lies being told on him. My challenge for Corey Holcomb, just tell me one lie I've told on you. Just one lie. Name the lie I've told on you.
I'm just using her as an example because she's in the news right now. You can't go around being a dirtbag, lying on people. What? Now, if you can prove that person lied on you, there are some type of monetary gains from that.
Right.
Especially if they have anything worth standing on.
Right.
So, I mean, it's a person who lied on me this week. And
This nigga lies on everybody weekly. Everybody's gay. Godfrey's gay. Jamie Foxx is gay. Gay, gay. Without a shred of fucking evidence. Produce some evidence. Stop doing this shit, Corey. Everybody is not gay. And you sit there and you defame people weekly. And you got the nerve, the fucking nerve after what you've been doing for 12, 14, 15, 16 years to worry about somebody talking shit about you. I'm sorry. This is some bitch ass bullshit. It really is. You got some fucking nerve, Corey Holcomb.
They've already been hit with the cease and assist. Because the cease and assist, once again, that's just a cease and assist is to let somebody know, hey, you taking it too far, woo, in case. It's really the step before the next step so they can't get to court and act like they don't know. If you talk to or about a nigga and you not in his face, that don't mean nothing to me. Craig, if you talking about a man and I know he ain't around,
Right.
I'm going to be like, yeah, all right, man. You got to go through the court to handle your business. And when I say handle your business, I'm talking about the same thing y'all talking about. To handle your business, you got to go through the court. It's all, look, dude, homie, back in the day, you could just show up in somebody's door. You could sit in their dumpster and wait on them to empty trash.
Yeah.
That's why I know.
I done laid in the bushes before.
Right, I done seen it all.
Yeah.
Nowadays, even though you put the lawyer on them to find out where they at, did you hear what I just said right there?
Right.
You put the lawyer on them to find out where they at. When you find out where they at, that's already upon your way.
Right.
You find out where they at.
See, this is, in my opinion, this is approaching terroristic threats. You want this person to know you know their location. You want this person to feel threatened by your actions. It's very much giving terroristic threats. Schotastic threats. That's something else. Schotastic threats. We see in politics a lot these days where you're essentially directing violence through coded language, through mafioso type of speak. I said it without saying it type of deal, right? I see my man Will stumbling out there. We're gonna shut down that other chat viewer. I think the other one, the one that we have up now, is better. I can see your words very clear, and we have it in a real good position for everyone to see the chat itself. Let's make it, we're gonna make it tall, put it back the way that it was on the last version so that we can keep your words up there. Hope everything's well in Boston. Will, as you know, I'm very happy to see my guy Jason Tatum back on the court. I got to check the schedule to see if Boston is coming to town. But if he does come to town, I really would love to go see Jason play again this year. I had a chance to see Jason last year. But he is one of my two favorite players in the NBA, bar none. Jason Tatum, Tyrese Halliburton, those are my guys. So salute to Wilt Stumbling. Always supports me, always supports the channel. That's the homie. Let's spin the clip.
Because now,
we got a lot going on tonight. I'm gonna be on for a minute, man. Right now I'm dogging out Corey, so just ride with me. We almost done with this one.
you know where they at.
Yeah.
And if you're smart, you'll avoid them. But if something ever happens where they run up on you thinking it's a joke, you have legislation at hand where that's what the cease and desist is for. I told them, don't play with me like that. Because I feel like if somebody calls you a PDF, that's a challenge for death.
That's a challenge.
That ain't nothing to play with. So
that's
all
I'm
saying, you can hide out and be sassy on the internet. Keep the camera.
Who's sassier than this nigga? Who's sassier than this nigga who dresses like he shops at Lane Bryant every fucking week?
Up to hide how you built. Do that. But if you ever try me in public, I've already warned you. I could take a lot, but you can't say it in my face.
No, they
you can't say that in my face. That'll jump it off.
1 minute he's not bothered about what happens on the internet. The next minute he's filing lawsuits and
I'm gonna say this. I bet if you caught Corey Holcomb in the airport, you ran up to him and you said some shit like that to him, he ain't gonna do a goddamn thing because he ain't got no gun on him and law enforcement is around. There is no situation where he will not either have a gun on him or law enforcement is not around. So he can talk all this bullshit. I've lost a lot of respect for this man, as you can tell.
Colin cease and desist and crying about it online. Like, sir, come on, man. All right. 1 minute, man, you can't say it in my face. You can say it in my face. Pull up if you want to pull up. But then we seen somebody say it to your face, the ultimate disrespect, and all you did was a lot of posturing and yelling.
Sure
and ain't nothing jumped off.
You suck the dick with black people right now. You doing the easy shit. What you do, let me tell you what you do.
Nah,
See,
homie, let me tell you something, homie.
Ain't nobody gonna tell you.
I don't
ain't nobody
suck
gonna, yeah,
I don't
you do.
suck.
You do.
So fix
You doing
that.
it right now.
I don't suck.
You doing it right
twice.
now.
Believe me
Three
when I
times, four
tell you.
times, five
I don't
times,
do
six
that.
times you said it.
I don't do that.
Listen.
So don't come at me with no shit.
I'm gonna give you the same
Let's do
energy
it
you
six.
give me.
He said it 6 times. Let's go back for a second. First he says it. And then he says, yes, you do. Yes, you do. You're doing it right now. You watch. He said it at least 6 times. Now, he didn't say the exact word 6 times, but he reiterated himself at least 6 times. So listen again and pay attention how direct and forward Anton Daniels is. Now, this is a situation where Corey got his people around him. The guns are there, I'm sure. Perfect opportunity to fight. Y'all could have stepped out in the alley. Hey, we're going to take a 10-minute break. 5150 will be right back. Everybody put the straps up. Let's handle business. That was a perfect opportunity. And you bucked. So knuck if you bucked.
Nothing jumped off.
You suck the dick with black people right now. You doing the easy shit. What you do, let me tell you what you do.
Nah,
See, ain't
homie,
nobody
let me tell you something, homie.
Ain't nobody gonna tell you.
I don't
ain't nobody
suck
gonna, yeah,
I don't
you do.
suck.
You do.
So fix
You doing
that.
it right now.
I don't suck.
You doing it right now.
Homie, believe me when I tell you. I don't
Believe me
do
when I
that.
tell you.
I don't do that.
Listen.
So don't come at me with no shit.
I'm gonna give you the same
Let's do
energy
it
you
six.
give me.
At least
Let's
four.
do it.
No.
At least 4.
I'm with it.
Homie, I don't do no. I don't do no. I'm a man. I don't do no.
I don't give a fuck about none.
I tell you what.
now.
Watch that.
Salute to Big Yogi. I talked about that earlier, man, with the black women, dark-skinned black women calling them monkeys, man. He ain't getting away with it. Tasha K is another one. He calls her Monkey K. That ain't cool. That ain't cool at all. As I mentioned earlier, my daughter is a dark-skinned black woman. My mom and my sister are dark-skinned black women. I love dark-skinned black women. Date dark-skinned black women. Think they're the most beautiful things on earth. Best attitudes you'll ever have of any woman because they're not so entitled like a lot of light-skinned women are. Hold up. We got sound effects now. So yeah, Corey's out of pocket for that, Big Yogi.
That'll go bad.
Call it what you want.
I don't do no.
Say a lot of shit. I don't fuck with either. You
Okay, but that case. Oh, you
I
go.
don't give a fuck about what you talking
Hey,
about.
homie, I tell you what.
I'm right here.
Anton is not backing down.
Don't put no dick sucking shit on me.
I'm from Detroit
Say
right
I
now.
suck a dick. Again.
I'm right here, right now.
All right.
Listen, Corey, all right? You revealed where I'm at. I could be petty by revealing where you're at. I mean, ex-Macca, I've done a lot of work in the building you're currently filming in, all right? Trust me, like
He is fucking dick swinging at Corey. He is absolutely taunting him.
I know exactly where you're at, but it's not in my place. I'm not about to reveal your location, nor do I care to do so. But you going about this roundabout way to try to scare me is not working, bro. All right, either you're suing me or you're not, okay? But don't waste your time. Do not waste your time thinking if you yap long enough, you will scare me. It's not happening, Corey. All right, Corey, listen, man. All right, there are anti-slap laws that exist. Okay, so whatever lawsuit you're coming will get dismissed very quickly, okay, with the anti-slap laws. You know why? Because what have I done outside of just make fun of you?
Nothing.
What have I done outside of play your own words? That's not meeting no defamation case.
Nope.
I don't know what you heard, brother.
Salute to Poetik Flakko. In fact, we're going to give him an extraordinary salute tonight. Let y'all know what kind of geek I am. You know, sometimes you see something on the internet you like, and you decide to go ahead and get the same thing that you see somebody on the internet with. And I happen to like this hat. Pardon me, y'all, but I got some really, really good bud. Yeah, I happen to like this hat. So one little Google image search away, and me and Flakko got the same hat. This is made by 1917 Biltmore, if you're interested. It's actually kind of fixed in this position. It looks like a soft beanie, but it's really kind of stiff and fixed in this position. So props. We got props at Pass the Joint Podcast, as you know. Next up, Wilt Sumberland asked me if I've been watching college hoops. I watched a little of Utah and Texas last night, man. Went out and had dinner at the bar and watched the game. And it was a great game. That kid from Texas, man. This is probably the best freshman class to come out of college in a decade at least, man. This crew, DeBonta and them, this is going to be a major class for the NBA. AJ Peterson, Caleb Wilson, who is my personal favorite. I love Caleb Wilson, man. I'm sorry, I don't think he's playing yet. I think he's still injured for North Carolina, but you're looking at Kevin Durant, the second coming of Kevin Durant, literally. Miami, Ohio got screwed. I didn't check on that yet. But yeah, we talked about what was going on with Poetik Flakko and Corey, man. And like I said, big up to Poetik Flakko. He's taking dude on. Now, the other thing, we talked about Corey's gangsterism, right? How he likes to lean on gangster shit. But you're also going at somebody who has people that know gang members. Poetik Flakko's at No Jumper. That's part of his team. So it's nothing but gang members up in No Jumper. You ain't the only one out here with gang ties, Corey. And I really, if I were you, I would not toe that line and try to act like a mobster all the time, man. You act just like Donald Trump. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Folks, we got a whole lot more show for you tonight. I'm going to do a stream tonight. So I ain't worried about smoking this weed. We're going to be on for a long time. This is Reaction Nation. I'm your host, Zen Master. Check out the thumbnail.
Give me that thing, you know what it is. Come on.
You know what it is.
You know what it is.
Are you kidding me?
No, not that. Give me that thing, you know what it is. Come on.
You know what it is.
Trying to wash us away, but we built back strong, found another way.
Nobody else gives you that type of high-tech, just quality. My name is Zen Master. I'm your host. We're going to move on to the next topic tonight, which is Bam Adebayo's 83-point game. I'm going to speak on it briefly, give you my opinion, and then we'll take a listen to what Scap Attack had to say. And O'Shea Jackson Jr., Ice Cube's son, we're going to listen to what he had to say as well. Bam Adebayo scoring 83 points is a joke. It really is. Now, Bam was hot. Bam was getting off. No doubt about it. You cannot take away what he was able to do in that game before it became a joke. I've never seen Bam Adebayo play offense like that before. I've also never seen a team reliant on his offense before. And then to play against the Washington Wizards, who at this point are essentially a G League team, he had every opportunity in the world, but still the ball got to go in the hole. The shots don't fall on their own, right? So I would say his first 60 to 70 were ethical buckets. First 60 or so ethical buckets. But then once the clown show started with all the intentional fouling on both sides, I got a problem with this generation sometimes I feel like this generation feel like it has to be the greatest at everything. And you're just not. I mean, my generation had to hear Babe Ruth Hank Aaron forever. And I still don't have good arguments against Babe Ruth and Hank Aaron. I still don't. I got to respect those guys. Barry Bonds, I got to respect them. The greats you got to respect. Bam Adebayo scoring 83 points is an aberration. It shouldn't happen. And if the Washington Wizards were a team with any sort of pride and respect and dignity, they wouldn't have let it happen. And in my era of NBA basketball, they'd have knocked you on your ass for trying that shit. You're not going to embarrass us. You're not going to come in the lane and take uncontested layups. You're not going to take uncontested. You're going to be hounded so bad, you'll hate it. You'll ask to be checked out the game. They would double them. There's no way a competitive 90s team would ever let that shit happen to them. 2000s team would ever let that happen to them. You think Kobe Bryant would let that happen to the Lakers? No, never. But we live in this instant gratification era, especially with social media where everybody's thinking about the damn meme. They're thinking about Bam holding up 83 instead of the quality and the ethical nature of the buckets. Like I said, Bam was hot, right? You can't take nothing away from the first 60 or so points. It's just amazing what he did. But Bam Adebayo is not some prolific scorer who deserves to be held up in the annals of history as having one of the highest scoring games in history, because 43 free throws is just unreasonable. It really is. Especially given that they just weren't effective at fouling him at all. Like I said, in the 90s, they would have put you on your ass. You'd have felt every last one of them free throws. And you'd have thought twice about it. But now, it's an open walk to the lane, man. You breathe on a nigga too hard, they throwing flags out there. They blowing whistles. Let's hear what our man Scap Attack had to say. Scap is quickly turning into one of my favorite basketball commenters.
Well, yes, I know. I already did a video on this immediately following the most disgusting display of stat chasing in NBA history. The 83-point atrocity Bam Adebayo and the entire Miami Heat team perpetrated against the NBA community. Hell, the entire sport of basketball. But look, I really must do a deeper dive into one of the most disgraceful moments in all of NBA history. The night Bam Adebayo stat chased, foul baited, and free throw merchanted his way to 83 points, eclipsing Kobe Bryant's true modern NBA record of 81. Done the right way.
Aha. Now, I am not a Kobe stan. I am not a Kobeite. I'm a Jordanite. Scap is obviously a Kobeite. His whole set is Kobe. Kobe this, Kobe that. I got a picture of Kobe's. Well, actually, I got Kobe's Sports Illustrated cover, the actual Sports Illustrated issue, right there above my desk. And I had that before he was unfortunately died. I also have Shaq's box pop from Slam. And I have Magic Johnson's championship trophy. All right, so really, I'm not a Laker hater whatsoever. I want y'all to know that. I'm a Lakers fan to a degree. I respect their history, right? Magic Johnson, 5 chips. Just wanted to show y'all that so y'all don't think I'm a hater. Complete hater. I am a hater. I make that clear. I can't stand LeBron James. But I'm not a Laker hater. I'm a LeBron James hater. In this case, I'm not hating on Bam. I just think it's much ado about nothing. I feel like this is like water under the bridge. Nobody's going to care about this 83 points. But the worst part, like I said, is that the Wizards let it happen. That's the worst part.
In a game his Lakers were trailing by 18 points in the third quarter of. Not up 26, with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, and 20 to 25 points for virtually the entire fourth quarter, like Bam's Heat were last night. Bam, by the way, had only 48 points with 6 minutes and 31 seconds left in the third, and his team already up 20. But from there, look, it was Bam's goal and the...
See, that is saying a lot. 48 points with 6 minutes left in the third. That means there was 18 minutes of play left, and you're up 20. Now, a 20-point lead is relatively safe in today's NBA, but at this point, you're playing the Washington Wizards. If I'm the coach, my all-star or my borderline all-star is coming out of that game. Unless he's needed, unless the deficit or the lead drops to, 10 or so, he's coming out of that game. I'm not worried about you scoring another 25 points, 35 points. He had 48 points at that particular point in time. So he scored another 35 points in the last 18 minutes of the game when they started out up by 20 and went up by as much as 25. So it's bullshit.
Entire Heat's team goal to get him there, as he played virtually every second of the game from that point on, and they continually force-fed him the ball so he could foul bait and flop his way to an absurd, an obscene, a never-before-seen 43 free throw attempts in this game. More on that in a moment. Bam did have 62 points at the end of the third quarter, and perhaps that resonates for some reason with you because, yes, of course, Kobe Bryant had 62 points against the Dallas Mavericks. At the end of the third quarter that same season, he would eventually score 81. Remember, though, Kobe benched himself at the end of the third quarter with those 62 points and refused to go back in. The Lakers were working the Dallas Mavericks by like 30 points. A really good Dallas Mavericks team, by the way, that would eventually go to the NBA Finals that season and take a 2-0 lead on the Miami Heat. But yeah, Kobe Bryant wanted no part of going back into that game in the fourth quarter because, in his own words, they didn't need him to go back in. The game was already decided. Just let Brian Shaw tell you.
People be mad at Scott. But Scott, I hear no lies, sir. I haven't heard a single lie come out of this man's mouth. Not one. Not one. I think y'all just be mad, honestly, because he doesn't like LeBron. He's a Kobeite, and the Lakers community is divided. It really is.
You all about it.
Nah, we're up 30. We don't need it right now, so I'll do it another time. So I went back over the field. I said he doesn't want to go back in.
And roughly 3 weeks later against the Toronto Raptors, Kobe Bryant would do just that. Get 81 the right way, within the context of competition and the flow of an actual basketball game. Yeah, what Bam Adebayo did last night and the Miami Heat helped him to do last night was certainly not that.
It's a complete crap.
And this game was definitively over midway through the third quarter, but Bam just kept playing and played the entire fourth quarter. The fourth quarter, which was an absolute shameless exhibition of classless basketball, where the Miami Heat were actually intentionally fouling the Washington Wizards down the stretch to extend this game. In the fourth quarter, Bam Adebayo, again, needing 21 points to get to that 83-point mark, shot 3 of 8 from the floor, 1 of 6 from the three-point line, and 14 of 16 from the free throw line. Yes, 16 free throw attempts in the fourth quarter, en route to his all-time NBA record of 43 free throw attempts. But
all right, man. I think we get the gist of where Scap is going. That's just awful, in my opinion. That's just awful. That's just like gratuitous is what it is. It's gratuitous, like scoring for the sake of scoring, risking injury for the sake of risking. That's the other thing. What if he would have gotten injured up 25 points trying to score 83? What if Bam Adebayo goes out there and but snaps his Achilles and is gone for a year because you're playing games like that? It's unethical. Those who say it's unethical, you're absolutely right. We got another clip on this topic. Let's take a listen to what none other than Ice Cube Jr. had to say on this controversy with Bam Adebayo.
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Day one of life with Kobe Bryant.
What up, Flying Guillotine? Guillotine, my bad.
Output in the history of the NBA for a single game.
Still number one.
Is that the fatal Flying Guillotine? Wu-Tang.
For a guard.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
I like
here?
it.
I mean, did it with 23 less free throws, you know, four less inches of height. So, like, yeah, I mean, still impressive.
Okay. I'm not saying it's not impressive.
So we got another Kobe fan here, right? The war is on, man. The Lakers nation been divided since LeBron got there. It's like that. It's going to stay like that. Washington should be embarrassed. You're absolutely right. Let's listen to what Cube Jr. had to say one more time.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Day one of life with Kobe Bryant having the third best scoring output in the history of the NBA for a single game.
Still number one for a guard.
Yeah. Okay.
What are we talking about?
I like
here?
it.
I mean, did it with 23 less free throws, you know, four less inches of height. So, like, yeah, I mean, still impressive.
Okay. I'm not saying it's not impressive. I'm just saying how
Deuce,
impressive
my man.
do you feel Bam Adebayo's performance was on Tuesday night?
I mean, it was a great collective effort by the 8 people that were trying to get him to get that record. You know, it was incredible. It was. I never see
people. What do you mean the 8 people?
His teammates who were supposed to do what they did. They're supposed to do what they did.
I'm going to take a minute to make some commentary here about Ice Cube Jr. First of all, you're too rich to dress like this. I know those are probably very expensive shoes. I think that's Hellstar, if I'm not mistaken. Very expensive looking shoe. I'm sure probably $800 on StockX. Ice Cube Jr. looks like a bum. I don't know what the hell he got on, but look, I saw this guy. I saw him at the Big 3 the summer before last, and he was huge. Huge. I mean, 300 pounds huge. And it looks like he ain't found Ozempic yet. Or maybe he's in the process. I don't know. But this dude is far too wealthy to be out here looking like Schoolboy Q with this Monster hat on. I hope Monster's paying you, bro, because that ain't a good look. I don't know who dressed this nigga, but thumbs down.
Did.
Right.
And I want to stress that there's a world where the Miami Heat do whatever it takes for Bam to get that record. Mm-hmm. That's their brother. That's their teammate. Absolutely. 100%. Mm-hmm. There's also a world.
Matter of fact, I got pictures of Ice Cube Jr. from Big 3. I'll post them.
Where Bam is just going crazy from the field and everything's going in and all that. That is also possible. Mm-hmm. And there's even a world where every single time he got to the line was legit. Like, there's that world. Mm-hmm. None of that all happens while you're up 25 and 30.
In the multiverse.
The refs just still giving you your calls. It just felt like at some point it was a decision made that, like, yeah, I want to see history tonight. And
by who?
Exactly.
By who?
Yeah. The league.
Oh, come on now.
Who else are the refs working for, Rich? What was the answer?
Listen, we were talking about it before. And
it wasn't history, though. Wilt's 100 is real. Wilt Chamberlain is not going to sit there with a piece of paper with 100 points on it if he didn't do it. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Wilt, 20,000 women might be a stretch. Maybe, maybe not. Wilt told some tall tales now. He did. But 20,000 women, I'm going to grant him that one, and I'm going to grant him his 100 points.
Feel free to chime in, gents.
I mean, I don't think I can get that worked up again.
No, but
today's the day.
No, that yes, the Wizards are less than an average team.
Oh, man.
Okay. And yes, there were legit foul calls that put him to the line. And yes, there was a collective on the Miami Heat's part from Spoelstra to the rest of the team to keep Adebayo out there in a game that's already been decided against a team that decided its season was gone, maybe from the first tap and tip of the season. But come on, man. Somebody in New York City has communicated to somebody in stripes that tonight's the night we're going to have Bam Adebayo score 80.
I mean, I'm not saying it was at the beginning of the game.
Oh,
but,
during the game.
I'm sure that.
So an alert goes off in somebody's office in the league office and says,
I'm sure
at halftime, make sure that this guy goes to the free throw line enough times, and we.
This is what we call a Negro conspiracy. This is certainly a Negro conspiracy. This is something you would hear in a black barbershop in seconds. Within seconds of arrival in a black barbershop, you're going to hear some bullshit like what he just said.
Believe he's going to hit enough to break Kobe's second best record.
If it's not saying that it is some desk that a button was pushed and all of that nonsense that I was spewing last night.
There was a lot of that last night.
I'm saying, so you're telling me, and how many times have you seen a game where a player gets a player in the air, maybe tries to get contact, the refs don't call it, and then you tell yourself, oh, well, I mean, of course, the refs can't give him that one. They give him all of those. Every single one. Every single one. How many times have we told ourselves, like, there's certain parameters that we watch a basketball game, and when things are away from there, it's a red flag.
Right.
Being up 30 and getting all of your calls, so much so that you have the record for most times ever.
Okay, that's a
at
record.
The line is not crazy. I'm hating to be like, oh, well, that was a decision made that, like, no, we want to see history tonight. We need to see a splash tonight. We want to see it happen. And so, like, there's no way. I've seen LeBron James come to the Lakers and average less free throws than he did his rookie year. I'm
going to say it again. It's instant gratification. It's not – this generation is addicted to fast results, fast action, fast everything, convenience. So it doesn't want to wait to be great. It doesn't want to necessarily let time cook. And this is yet another example of the Miami Heat team and the Washington Wizards team collectively deciding that we're going to give somebody 83 points. And the referees also playing along saying we're going to give someone the most free throws in NBA history. It's a circus. It's not a game that you would take seriously. And that's the problem. The NBA needs to be taken seriously, and it doesn't take itself seriously all the time. It needs to take itself more seriously. I don't know, man. I think Adam Silver is a disaster of a commissioner. I would love to have that job. I would love to be NBA commissioner. There's so much that I would do. This guy, man, has ruined the NBA. He's allowed LeBron James to run roughshod over the league. Nothing is good about Adam Silver. I'll put it that way. Nothing. He also shows favoritism to certain people who I will not name at this particular time, but you can probably guess who I'm talking about. I have one of these people's jersey hanging up in my closet. Plays in my hometown. I'm not going to name no names, but you know what I'm saying. Next, folks, we're going to move on to the next topic because there's not a whole lot to say about Bam Adebayo and that performance. I just think that, again, you're looking at the divide with Lakers fans, especially Kobe fans, being upset that Kobe got eclipsed because Kobe's 81 was ethical, quote unquote. It was a win. It was a close game. Kobe was the only person who shot the ball for an elongated period of time in that game. In my opinion, if I was his teammate, I'd be pissed. But sometimes you got to let the chef cook, right? So, hey, hats off to the late, great Kobe Bryant. As we move on to our next story. And that is none other than Chrisean Rock and Chrisean Jr. We're going to handle this story with as much sensitivity as humanly possible, understanding that this is a small child, a young child involved who had no choice in these matters, whose life has been greatly affected in ways that he will never even understand. So with that, I want to start by saying to Chrisean Jesus Porter, young man, Whatever I say today has nothing to do with you personally. And I only hope for the greatest results in your life and the greatest recovery from what you've been through from the time you were an embryo. I learned about fetal alcohol syndrome today. I did a little research. Fetal alcohol syndrome, we mostly know it colloquially. The name implies a lot. But fetal alcohol syndrome essentially works this way. When a woman who is pregnant drinks and alcohol crosses the blood barrier into her body, the womb metabolizes it way slower than the mother does. So the alcohol stays in the system of the fetus longer and even in a more concentrated fashion than it does the mother. The fetus is actually more intoxicated than the mother is. So this little boy was drunk from probably every stage of his development. And it's a miracle that he is alive, to be honest. There's a lot of conversation about this right now. I'm sure you've all seen it. Junior's condition, people are armchair quarterbacking, prognosticating, making home diagnoses. Chrisean Rock appears to be in denial about it all and trying to make a pro-Christian pivot, which is, the last refuge of scoundrels is religion. So she's trying to make her bread the old-fashioned way, pimping. And in this case, and in my opinion, pimping her disabled son for media attention for both her and her son's father's careers. It is truly sad what Chrisean Rock is doing. It's horrible what Chrisean Rock has done. By her own admission, she was careless, she was wanton, and she was reckless. She colloquially, casually said how she would just get an abortion tomorrow, so it didn't matter if she drank that night. She's just gonna get an abortion the next day anyway. Her own sister, her own mother, everyone validated what we saw a few times on camera. It was that Chrisean drank throughout her pregnancy. My opinion, and like I said, we're going to move on to a clip from Young Don Reacts. But in my opinion, Chrisean Rock was trying to ixnay that Adebayo in utero. I think Chrisean was trying to avoid the abortionist chair in favor of the bartender's chair, the bar stool. I think she was hoping for a miscarriage or hoping for, the fetus to, miscarriage is the proper term. I think she was trying to, what do you guys say, delete? I think she was trying to delete that baby. And I think she was trying to delete that baby because she didn't know who the father was, or because she did. Either she didn't know who the father was, or she knew it wasn't Blueface's. That's what I think is going on psychologically with Chrisean Rock. Now, the question of paternity has been bandied around about this boy. A man by the name of Ronnie, I can't remember Ronnie's last name right now, is alleged to be the father of young Chrisean Jesus Porter, also known as Chrisean Jr. Ronnie was killed recently in Baltimore, Maryland, around Baltimore, Maryland. And Blueface posted that he couldn't keep up the charade anymore, basically, and that, he knew he wasn't Chrisean Jr.'s biological father. There has been a paternity test posted by Chrisean herself that people have questioned its legitimacy. So there's a lot of cloud and mystery around the paternity of Chrisean Jr. that they should just go ahead and resolve, get it done, get the test done together, get it done publicly, and resolve this issue for that boy's sake. He's got enough going on to where if Blueface is his father, then Blueface needs to know, and Blueface needs to step up and care for his child. And let's not leave Blueface out of this. He is responsible for his part in handing this woman liquor and alcohol during her pregnancy. Now, maybe she told him she was going to get an abortion, so it don't matter too. Maybe that's his excuse. Conveniently, I might add. But Blueface is just as culpable, in my opinion, in Chrisean Jr.'s condition by his actions. Now, he said that she was abusive and that the one time he tried to take alcohol from her, she hit him upside the head with a bottle. I can believe that. I can absolutely believe that, but I don't think the violence in their relationship is a one-way street. I think that they're a living nightmare, both of them. And I have a little bit more hope for Blueface at this point in life than I do for Chrisean. But they're both pretty fucked up people, if we're honest. Without further ado, let's listen to what Young Don Reacts had to say. If you're not familiar with Young Don, he's one of the best up-and-coming content creators here on YouTube. He's killing the game. Absolutely killing the game. He's out of Texas, if I'm not mistaken. I've joked about Young Don being AI. Young Don's not AI. The only reason I say that is because Young Don's like too perfect. Something like, you can't be that perfect, Young Don. You can't be. But I guess you are. Hats off to Young Don. Great young man. Let's listen to what he had to say.
Your son is not going to end up walking and talking and having a above 100 IQ one day so that you can turn around and tell all the haters, look what God did in my son's life. No. In fact, you continuing along with this bullshit is actually going to ensure that he is even more disabled than he would have had to be had he received some kind of help and assistance while he was still in his formative years. And so that is what it is. And you have to accept.
Never a hair out of place. Young Don's hair is always perfectly in position. This is what I mean by the boy might be AI. All right? The boy just might be AI. Keep tracking. I lost the chat viewer. Let me see if I can get that back up here. Yeah, we got the chat viewer back. My bad, y'all.
That. So yesterday I came across a post on Twitter that made me both sad and angry. And at first it made me angry, but then I felt more sad than I was angry, and so I didn't talk about it. But today I'm ready to talk about it. And the post that I'm talking about, it's a clip of Chrisean Rock speaking about her son.
And I'm going to try to be very careful to show as little of Chrisean Jr. as possible. YouTube is sensitive about children. I am as well. We want to try to protect that young boy as much as possible. So if you're watching and I skip some things, just sorry about that.
And the reason this post made me angry and sad at the same time, well, once you see the clip, you'll see exactly why it is that it made me so upset. But in a nutshell, she is going to be talking about her son who is almost 3 years old, still not able to talk, still not able to walk. And the
boy can't even stand. He pulls himself up using handrails on his playpen. He's 3 years old and he's in a playpen, and he can only pull himself up and stand for a short period of time. Now, he is progressing, but I wouldn't doubt it if Chrisean Jr. had trouble walking. His motor skills are pretty poor, and his attention and concentration is really poor. He drifts off into space like you wouldn't believe.
Ignoring the fact that her son has a disability. Doctors have told her that her son is disabled, and The reason she wants to ignore the facts is because she doesn't want to take responsibility or accountability for the decisions that she made while she was pregnant, which led to her son being disabled, that being the lifestyle she lived, the drinking and the smoking. And so that's why this shit pissed me off, man. It pissed me off because not only were you so reckless, not only were you so irresponsible with the way you handled your pregnancy, but now you are going to deny that boy what little help he can get by having some kind of professional work with him in regards to his disability. And so that's why I was pissed and saddened by this, because now this boy, the quality of his life is unnecessarily going to be worse off and more difficult than it needed to be, and even more so because of how she's handling it now. And of course, she's bringing Jesus into the mix. Of course, Christianity comes along to make it a bad situation even worse. So let's go.
The last refuge of scoundrels, folks. I'm telling you, no matter what religion it is, Christianity is not special in this regard. But scoundrels, when they run for cover, that's where they go. That's where they go, to their imaginary friend, their imaginary protector, their excuse maker, the "I'm sorry, can you forgive me" giver. That's where they go.
Go ahead and listen to this this clip, and y'all tell me what you think.
Accept what you. Blueface doesn't seem active in a child's life because of his disability. My son does not have a disability. He is developing at his own pace and hitting his milestones in his own timing. Every child is different, and I'm confident in his growth. If I said it, he had a disability, then he... Bruh. But it's like, don't tell me. I ain't saying, not even just that. It's like, say if someone, a doctor, anybody speak against your kid or yourself, then you should not accept it, bro. Yeah. Anybody, if they're guessing or whatever, no, the word said what the word said. God said.
The word said what the word said. The God said what the God said. That's what she about to say.
Well, the word said what the word said. God said what the God says. I don't have to accept what you. So it's really like me, like, protecting a revelation that I heard from the Lord over my son.
Right.
A revelation that she heard from the Lord over her son. Bitch has no shame. She don't know shame whatsoever. At all. No shame.
Yeah, protecting a revelation, a message from God.
I can't wait when my son start walking and talking. I'm gonna just be like, exactly.
Like I told y'all.
I said it. Nah, I told y'all. He told y'all. Yeah. Shoot, I was just relaying the message.
Salute to Taoism. Shintoism as well.
It's like one of those.
Again, she believes that the world is in the state that it's in because a woman a long time ago got tricked by a talking snake into eating a magic fruit in a garden guarded by an angel with a fire sword. This is the foundation of her belief system. This is why America is where it's at. This is why MAGA is in office. This is why we're at war with Iran. And this is exactly why her son, who's already been handicapped by her decisions, is now going to have an even harder life, because there are therapies that children with disabilities can do that actually will improve their ability to function. It makes a huge difference. It makes a significant difference.
I'm going to speak from experience here. My niece was not my biological niece. My adopted niece was born to an addicted mother. And when she was basically born frozen, clenched up, unable to unclench, unable to move her muscles. That bad. I can't speculate to what the drugs were, but they were hardcore drugs. Both of that child's parents have since overdosed and died. And my brother, not my biological brother, but my brother and his wife are raising her. And she is fucking amazing. Bright, beautiful, no physical deformities, no physical limitations. She's growing at the correct rate. It can be done. Now, fetal alcohol syndrome is different than drug abuse in a lot of ways. For whatever reason, fetal alcohol syndrome seems to be the worst one, even worse than crack. But I'm so happy for this little girl because through her misfortune and through her loss, she ended up with a way better life than the one that her parents would have given her if they were around. And I'm so proud of my brother for stepping up to take care of his daughter now. It just makes me love him that much more as a human being, as a person. He's already a great person. He was already a great person before he did that. But after he did that, you know, I want to put a saint crown on him. The dude is amazing. One of the best people I know. I'm getting emotional. Let me spin the clip.
And so because something spoke to her in her head and told her, oh, your son is gonna be just fine and he doesn't have a disability, and this is now it's all about her again, right? Fuck the kid. This is about her faith is now being tested, right? Oh, do you have enough faith to trust God? Listen, how about you trust a doctor that went to school for 10 years, who's been doing this shit for decades, who took one look at your kid and said, yeah, he has fetal alcohol syndrome. Fetal alcohol syndrome, more than likely, right? Yeah, this shit is so frustrating. All right, so let's take a look. We actually have some videos. I can't even show you the pictures and the videos of the kid because, you know, that ain't. For the even. That's, you know, YouTube's terms and service. They don't like that shit. But if you go on Twitter and type in Chrisean Rock, you're going to see pictures and videos of her kid. Her kid is almost 3 years old. He cannot walk. He cannot talk. Right? Bro, that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. Like, we're talking about beyond missing milestones. This child is a large child, okay, who should be climbing fucking tables. At the age that he's at, my daughter is about the same age. My daughter is jumping off tables, bro. What are we talking about? My daughter is doing somersaults at gymnastics. This little baby can't even hold his head up properly yet. Like, the kid got a disability. You got to accept that. Now, look at this. Look at this post.
From what I understand, he has several disabilities. The speculation is not just fetal alcohol syndrome, but cerebral palsy. And the boy is still on milk. He's still unable to eat solid foods. Allegedly, and I don't know this for certain, allegedly because when he eats, solid foods actually go into his lungs. So his esophagus is not properly connected to his stomach. It's connected to his lungs. And I don't know how that works with milk, but I've seen some horrifying video of Chrisean giving this boy medication and him having like this unbelievably nasty cough, and like it sounds like there's stuff just heavy on his lungs. It's hard to watch. I'll put it that way. And then, you know, she's got this elongated video of her doing some pre-fight stuff. They're both dressed in white, and she's trying to show that her boy can stand up on his own, and he can't stand up. And she has to constantly engage him the way you would engage a puppy to keep their attention. And it's really, 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 really sad. And like I said, I'd like to show some of it. Young Don is being very careful, so I'm going to trust that he is not going to reveal too much here, but you may see an image of Chrisean Jr. Just heads up, the boy is obviously afflicted by fetal alcohol syndrome. And we looked at the charts earlier, I looked at what babies and toddlers who have this affliction look like, and he meets the standard and criteria. They have, deformities about their face and head, smaller heads, ear deformities, flatter noses, flatter bridges, between their eyes. There's a whole physical affect that comes along with this affliction. So it's pretty obvious.
This is from last year. So this is going viral now in 2026, March 2026. But look at this in October 2025. Video of Chrisean Rock advocating for drinking during pregnancy has resurfaced after people noticed her 2-year-old son struggles and can't do anything for himself. You know you can smoke and drink while you're pregnant. All right, let's...
Like, can you daddy? They all like that. You know you can smoke and drink while you're pregnant. I know people don't do it, but they do it and they don't know that. I'm sorry, I keep saying still on that. Them comments, like
they still on that
pregnancy shit out my shit. Just stop calming me. Just stop calming me. Just stop calming me. And then 3.
Dead the pregnancy shit.
Yeah,
dead it. Just dead it. For real, dead the pregnancy shit.
You see me deading it? Like, can you dead it? Cheers.
My sis ain't talk about it. Y'all don't gotta talk about it.
Like, when it happened.
Wow, man. So she's saying that you can...
Completely dismissive. Bottle of Hennessy XO in her hand. Completely dismissive.
Smoke and drink while you're pregnant. Here's actually a picture of her drinking alcohol, because she was doing this all online.
Big old baby bump.
Here's a video of her, a picture of her actually drinking while she was...
Why does this not result in an arrest? Why? Why don't the police come get a woman like her and throw her ass in prison for the remaining time that she's in pregnancy? Put her in jail. Put her in jail. This boy's life is ruined because of this bitch. Ruined. He won't even ever know how his life is ruined. That's how bad off he is.
Very pregnant. This ain't even like, you know what I'm saying? She ain't found out she was pregnant yet.
No, she's about 7 months.
She's been pregnant for a month. Right. I think that probably happens fairly often with young women. But here she looks like she's a proper 6-7 months pregnant. Still drinking alcohol, man.
Still drinking.
Right? Oh, my Lord, have mercy. Here we actually found the video of her drinking at the club.
Let me see.
Look at that baby.
That is crazy.
Ladies, one more time.
Is that Glorilla? Yeah. Wow.
What is it?
That is crazy, bro. And y'all partying with her.
There she is, drinking it up.
And a girl back there vaping, so you know she
God,
vaping
man.
too.
This is sickening. That baby in there fucking fighting for his life. And the people around her are just like none of them are smacking the drink out of her hand, but then again, she's a violent person.
Sad, man.
Wow, man. Wow. This is some shit, bro. So in this clip, DJ Academics is actually trying to hold Blueface to account because he was saying, look, while Chrisean Rock was behaving in this way, he was supporting the behavior. How did he do that? He was handing her a blunt. He was handing her the bottle of Hennessy while she was pregnant. And so let's take a listen to this where Academics is trying to hold him accountable, but Whack 100 is shooting Blueface some bail. Take a listen.
Wait, Whack, could we be honest though? When she was smoking and drinking while pregnant, Blueface was handing her the blunt and the bottle of Hennessy.
Let me tell you,
sure was.
You gotta be honest.
Listen, the last time that nigga tried to take a bottle from her, you know what she did, bro?
What?
You know what she did? She hit him upside the head, nigga. We had to take him to the hospital. They had to pull glass out the back of his fucking head.
No, I thought she vacuumed it.
What?
We seen on the show. She vacuumed it out of it.
No, nigga. We took that nigga to the hospital. Fuck that show. Fuck what they showing after. I'm telling you.
Truly, Whack 100, though, I truly do not like this guy. I don't have any respect for him at all. The raccoonery that he helps to facilitate through Aiden Ross is actually egregious. This is not how adults, this is not how rational people think or behave, because he's saying, look, Blueface did attempt to stop her from drinking and smoking while she was pregnant. And so when she fought back, that then justifies him allowing her to do it again in the future or co-signing it. Look, if she resists you trying to stop her from engaging in this harmful behavior, the solution is not, okay, well, now I'll co-sign it or now I'll pretend it isn't happening. The solution is you remove yourself from any interactions with her. You condemn her and tell her, hey, I don't want anything to do with you while you're hurting yourself and this baby. You don't go on to like, okay, well, shit, I tried. You don't hit that. You don't.
Yeah, Blueface is an enabler. Straight enabler.
Don't say, I tried. Here you go. Here's a bottle of Hennessy. And so it's just dysfunction all around. And the only person here that is truly suffering, who is really going to be the victim in all of this, is, of course, the little boy.
Junior.
Now, I want to return to this original clip where she's talking about her son not having a disability and her receiving a message from God. The reason I want to return to this clip is because it's time to focus in on this bullshit and how Christianity continues to destroy people and hurt people further than they already have been harmed and hurt. It truly is just like a horrible excuse and a terrible cop-out that people use in a variety of ways to engage in destructive and degenerate behavior, really, and to dodge all kinds of accountability. And it's because there is this collective psychosis in Western civilization, because Christianity is the dominant religion and it's such an old tradition. It's like one of those things that people will like hand wave off or kind of like, well, okay, I guess. Why? Because their grandmother is Christian and goes to church, because their mother goes to church. Listen,
Big up, Young Don.
I don't give a fuck. Okay, this religion is disgusting, honestly. It's disgusting, it's retarding, meaning it holds society back, it holds people back, and it encourages the worst kinds of behavior. Again, Christianity got Trump in office. Christianity is the reason we're at war in Iran, fighting for Israel, and we have so much, the people that do support.
I've told the story before, I'll tell it again. I'm atheist. I was raised Christian. Spent most of my life as Christian. I actually got baptized in my 30s. My journey to atheism began in 2011. It began on September 11 of 2011. I was in United States Army basic training in Columbia, South Carolina. Not basic training, pardon me. I was in advanced individual training at Fort Gordon, Georgia, Augusta. I spent a year there in TRADOC. And the morning of 9/11, my friend and I went to the mess hall before we went to the gym. That was our routine. So we're up at the DFAC 13, which is the staff gym. The staff DFAC. Eat our good breakfast, go to the staff gym because we're long-termers who spend a lot of time in training. So we get to eat with permanent party and stuff. So we're in the gym, man. No, actually, before we go to the gym, we're sitting in the cafeteria. I look up at the TV and I see the North Tower in New York on fire, the World Trade Center on fire. And I said, whoa, air traffic's having a fucked up day, literally, as I looked up at the TV. And as I was looking up at the TV, boom, the South Tower gets hit. And I said, oh, that's not air traffic, that's Osama bin Laden. I knew Osama bin Laden's MO was to return for targets if he didn't destroy them. And he had tried to take out the World Trade Centers in '93. So I just knew. My gut instinct at the time told me it was him. We waved that off, believe it or not. We went to the gym, started working out, didn't know what was going on. Sooner or later, we hear, hey, Pennsylvania's been hit. Now I'm like, oh shit, my family's in Pennsylvania. Where? Flight 93 crashed about 5 air minutes from where my parents live. When I go home, I will drive right past the Flight 93 Memorial in Stoystown, Pennsylvania on US Route 219. It is literally a 20-minute drive from where my parents live. And then we went to the barracks immediately after we got that news that we were under attack. And by the time we got to the barracks, the Pentagon had been hit. And so we walk into the barracks and we get that news, run into the barracks and we get that news. And, you know, at that point in time, I knew I was at war. We all knew we were at war. Mind you, we're brand new in the Army. We've been in the Army less than a year, all of us at this point. So Fort Huachuca, well, Fort Gordon's trade dock, I go to Korea. It's a strategic site, no deployment. War kicks off while I'm in South Korea. I go to Arizona after I leave South Korea. Now I'm going to go to war unit. And we're training every day on the range, every day in the gas chamber. Every day we're doing something. So one day we're out there on the range and we're doing drive-bys. We are literally practicing drive-bys. That's not what they call them in the military, but that's what we were doing. And I saw it one day and I said, wow, that's a drive-by. Does that make me a gangbanger? And if I'm a gangbanger, what gang am I representing? Oh, it's the Christians versus the Muslims, huh? Oh shit, I'm a Christian gangbanger. That's when I started the process of becoming an atheist. It took years, but that was the first piece of insight that cracked the mythology for me, that showed me that something's off. Something's off. Now, I was 28, 29 in that situation. I didn't become a full-fledged atheist until I was at least, I don't know, 36, 37, 38 maybe. I was out looking for answers. Like I said, I got baptized here in Portland in my 30s, trying to find the answers, man. And eventually I listened to enough speakers. I listened to enough people to show me the way and arrived at, hey, this mythology is not real. None of it's real. And people are using it to control other people. And once you lift the veil, it's like being unplugged from the Matrix. It literally is like being unplugged from the Matrix. So that's just a personal aside, but let's go back to Young Don's clip here. Again, Young Don is a little too perfect sometimes. I didn't know probably until a couple weeks ago that he felt the same way about religion that I do, but salute to this young man. He is an excellent example of what we should all strive to be.
Support it because they believe it's going to help Jesus come back. Christianity is the reason why measles is on the rise again in young children, because they're being convinced that vaccines are somehow bad. It's the reason why global warming is going to destroy our planet, why climate change is destroying our planet, because there is no point in trying to protect the planet thinking 500, 1,000 years into the future and the subsequent generations. I mean, fuck it. I don't even know if the human race will make it that long with the way that we are accelerating.
Just a side note to what Young Don is saying here. I saw a story recently, I think it was CBS News, that reported that at least 2 of Donald Trump's cabinet members have called the person who makes doomsday bunkers and asked how soon their bunker will be ready. Cabinet members are afraid to death right now. They're trying to get their doomsday bunkers built. So what Young Don is saying here about these religious zealots we're dealing with in our government is 100% true.
Accelerating climate change, and they don't care because Jesus is going to come back in their lifetime, maybe by their children or their grandchildren. He's more than 2,000 years late. The Bible made it clear that he was supposed to come back quickly, right away. the apostles. That's why Paul the apostle encouraged people not to get married, not to have children, because he was so certain that Jesus was going to come back in their lifetime. It's 2,000 years later. It's a fairy tale. Okay, it's bullshit. But take a listen to this, right? Let's circle back around to how Chrisean Rock is going to use Christianity to justify further.
It's like we lost a chat viewer. I'm going to try to bring that back up.
Disability. He is developing at his own pace and hitting his milestones in his own timing. Every child is different, and I'm confident in his growth. If I said it, he had a disability, then he. Right. But it's like,
don't tell me.
I ain't saying not even just that. It's like, say if someone, a doctor, anybody speak against your kid or yourself, then you should not accept it, bro.
If a doctor tells you you have cancer, you shouldn't believe it. That's not how this works. You see, this is what they believe, because the religion itself is built on deluding yourself. It's built on convincing yourself that something is real and true, even though you have no evidence. And in fact, your willingness to believe in the absence of evidence is a sign of the strength of your faith. The more delusional you are, the better of a Christian you are, really. And so it's to the point where they believe in all kinds of nonsense, like you can take a look at an MRI or a CT scan or an X-ray and see a growing mass inside of your stomach or inside of your abdominal cavity, right? A cancer is growing, and you believe that I'm just not going to accept that. I'm not going to allow the doctor to speak against me. This is the kind of language that they are taught to use. The doctor is speaking against my child when he says that my child has some kind of mental disability. No, the doctor is just giving you an evaluation. Right? The physical is the manifestation of the spiritual.
The irony of this particular shot is that there is what looks like a Hennessy bottle right of her right shoulder, and that looks like Goldschlager. I'm no alcohol expert, but that looks like a Goldschlager bottle. And then right above their head is another alcohol bottle. This is the last image that Chrisean Rock should be caught dead with. Right here. What a dummy. What a fucking dummy.
That means you have engaged in maintaining a type of spiritual frequency that has resulted in the physical appearing. What am I saying? It's already too fucking late. It's already too fucking late. You are already living in sin, right? To use their kind of language.
Absolutely.
You are already holding that frequency for so long. That was you drinking and smoking and telling yourself that it doesn't matter. That was what you were doing. You see, you are reaping the fruits of that which you have sown. Man must reap what he has sown. This is what you see, this is the thing. You will sow bullshit, and then you reap bullshit, and then you tell yourself, oh no, this is somebody trying to speak against me.
Somebody else bullshit. This ain't my bullshit.
I don't take this. And so listen to this nonsense, man.
Bro, anybody, if they're guessing or whatever, no, the word said what the word said. God said what the God.
The word said what the word said. God said what the God said.
If we evolved from monkeys, then why we still got monkeys? Huh? Why we still got monkeys if we came from monkeys? That's how she sound. Steve Harvey ass niggas.
You don't even want to go down that street with me, because the Bible clearly says that God doesn't hear the prayers of sinners. And I can just take a look at your lifestyle, take a look at the way you're dressed, take a look at the way you speak, and just reel off all the ways in which you are still living in sin according to the standards of the Bible. And the Bible clearly says that God doesn't hear the prayer of sinners. And so what now? Your son is not going to end up walking and talking and having an above 100 IQ one day so that you can turn around and tell all the haters, look what God did in my son's life. No. In fact, you continuing along with this bullshit is actually going to ensure that he is even more disabled than he would have had to be had he received some kind of help and assistance while he was still in his formative years. Mm-hmm. And so that is what it is. And you have to accept that. And no amount of Jesus and praying and pats on. See, I know the pastors, you go to some kind of fucking bullshit like
I'm glad he mentioned the pastor, because the pastor's definitely going to try to milk this situation for all that he can. This is a pastor's wet-ass dream, right? A pseudo-celebrity, an internet personality who is now my personal leech, personal business partner, someone he can take advantage of and, you know, grow his own enterprise, which is exactly what he's going to try to do. He don't give a shit about Chrisean Jr. He know, and they showed them in church. That boy sitting in church, head bobbing like an Indian, trying to think and shit. Well, I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to make fun of him, but I have to at least describe his appearance if we're not going to show him. The boy can barely hold his head up. He's 3 years old, right? His motor skills are horrible. His focus is horrible. His mother has to basically pet him and do games like this with his lip to keep his attention and kiss him and be in his face all the time, or else he just stares off into space. The boy is not going to have a great quality of life. And what Young Don is saying is that because his mother is being a religious zealot as opposed to relying on the medical system that she should be relying on, which is the case for a lot of idiot-ass parents, this boy's going to be worse off. We know right now, like Young Don said, the measles epidemic is back because religious people in the South, in the Bible Belt, believe in natural herd immunity. In other words, believe in letting kids get sick and die when they don't have to, because they're so afraid of medical science contradicting their religion. And a lot of people out there think this way. So we're here to educate, we're here to uplift, and make sure that you, our viewer here at Pass the Joint, Reaction Nation, don't fall victim to the same type of bullshit.
Stupid church, right? You don't even go to a real church, because any church you go to where they're entertaining this nonsense, this is some kind of bullshit, garbage, Protestant prosperity gospel church, I can almost guarantee you, where they're telling you that God has a plan for your child and that this is a test of your faith. If that's what they're telling you, you go to a ridiculous clown church. That's not even a real church with a real pastor, right? And they're entertaining this nonsense because you're somebody with some kind of clout and you're going to be used by the Lord to grow the congregation and put more money in the offering plate and bring more people to the Lord.
100.
No, the only thing that you have done is you are a perfect.
Do you see what I mean about Young Don being AI? Me and this nigga think so much alike, it scares me. On a daily basis, it scares me. We watch the same shit. We think alike. This could be my little brother. Dad, nah, my dad ain't got no 6'5" kids. This nigga is basically me. A 20-something, maybe 30-year-old version of me. That's who he is.
Modern example of fetal alcohol syndrome. That's all you've done. You know, you've given the world an opportunity to know young women all around the world can now look at this situation and be reminded why it is exactly that they should not drink while they are pregnant. But that's a situation, man. That's a situation. This is truly a tragedy. My heart goes out to that young boy who will never have a normal life because his mother was evil. See, this is not just her being stupid. This is not just her.
She knew.
A result of the way she was raised.
I'll just have an abortion.
Like, women
nasty bitch
get pregnant as teenagers without a father, in poverty, with poor education, and they still know they're not supposed to drink while they're pregnant. You know what I mean? This is a kind of deliberate evil that nothing about your demographic, nothing about you being black, nothing about you being a woman, nothing about your relationship with your father, nothing about whatever religions you were exposed to. There is literally nothing that can excuse this level of negligence. And it truly is infuriating because I have 3 children. I'd want to, man, oh boy. If I was with a woman who did something like this, boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, boy, oh boy, oh boy. I don't even blame Blueface. I mean, I do have to blame Blueface to some degree, but I couldn't even blame a man who wouldn't want to interact with their child. If they tried to stop this woman from doing this and she still did this, I wouldn't even blame the man. Because just out of how angry I would get. I would get so angry every time I saw that child. I was so angry at the woman, you know. But then again, what are you doing messing around with a chick like this anyway, right? What are you doing? That's come on now, right? It's horrible. It's horrible what was done here, truly. But
she's a piece of shit.
All right, that's my rant, I suppose.
Salute to Young Don. Make sure y'all go to Young Don Reacts. That's the name of his channel, Young Don Reacts. He is blowing up. Let's take a look at some of the comments here. Young Don now at 71,000 views. He's at 223,000 subscribers. You're all probably going to get a heavy dose of him in your algorithm if you're not already. But I want to get into our studio here and make sure I see your comments. We lost the chat viewer somehow, some way. And I don't want to ignore you guys. So give me just a second as we look at the comments and I get to the studio and view your latest. Hope you're enjoying the show. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell so you get notifications whenever we publish here on PTJ and go live here at Reaction Nation. Just some housekeeping while we're chilling and smoking. I can't do lives during the week most days. I'll be tired from work, so look for my lives on the weekends almost exclusively. I tried, but I'm an old head like Deuce. I'm almost 54 years old. I take naps sometimes when I don't necessarily want to take a nap. And salute to Flying Guillotine, 82nd Airborne. I see you. But yeah, I'm getting a little older, and you know my health is improving. I can report that. So you're going to see more of me. I've been using GLP-1 now for almost a year. I've lost 50 pounds, and I have probably another 30 pounds to go, roughly 25 to 30 pounds to go, because I was a big old fat boy. There's a lot of muscle underneath here, so you'll see it soon. I don't even have to work out. It's already there. But yeah, that Blueface topic, Blueface, Chrisean, and Chrisean Jr. topic is tragic, man. As we look at some of these comments here, you know, she thinks she can play the disabilities away. Absolutely, that's what's going on with her. Let me zoom up so these can be a little bit more legible. Sorry, folks. I know it's a little out of sorts, but we'll get there. Okay, here we are back at the comments. That baby has fetal alcohol syndrome. She did that. She is full of guilt. That's why she's in church now. Guilt. She should have been prosecuted. CPS needs to take that child away is a very popular comment. Oh, that's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. I don't want to give Chrisean Rock an easy out. And Chrisean Rock, CPS coming to take the baby from Chrisean, she might actually enjoy that. She might prefer that because she doesn't have to carry that burden anymore. She doesn't have to walk around with this disabled child who can't even focus for 3 minutes anymore. I think she might want that. So instead of CPS taking her child away, I would rather CPS make her be a mother. Getting her ass every day. Threatening her with jail. Threatening her with charges if she doesn't find alternative homes for him should she need to go to jail. But absolving her of her responsibility should never happen. And if Blueface is the father, I'm sure she's getting money. He ain't gonna be absolved of his responsibilities either way. So why should she ever be resolved or absolved of her responsibilities? No, don't take the child away. Make her do right by her child for the first time in his life. Make that happen. I'm sorry if you guys didn't view that comment. Just had a lecture on maternal alcohol use. And that shit is truly the most wicked thing you could do to your own offspring. I'm going to love that comment. I wish I could love it. Young Dawn did. She smoked weed, drank alcohol while 6 months pregnant in the club. I can't believe people are still trying to treat her some innocent. She's a piece of shit. Absolutely. She should be arrested for child neglect, or at least approached. This is permanent. His whole life is affected now. Could have had a normal life. She gave him a disability. This is so sad. Zero respect for all parties involved. She has a mental disability too. I do believe that about Chrisean. I think she's probably autistic. That girl don't look right. She don't look right. Tell the truth. She's pretty, but loco. Muy loco la cabeza. Muy loco, ese. Ain't no way. She's so crazy looking, you can see it in her eyes. You can literally see it, and ain't no fucking way. I know pretty women like her. No. Avoid them like the plague. Her son has the cranial facial features associated with FAS. We mentioned that earlier. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up. Let's take a look together. Fetal alcohol syndrome. You're going to see some pictures here from Google. And we'll maybe click up on one or two of them. I think this is probably a good representation. We'll open it in a new tab and get a look. Sorry about that. Let's open the image in a new tab. All right. That did not work out to our advantage, so we'll go back here. But you can see low nasal bridge, minor ear abnormalities, indistinct philtrum. That's the groove above your upper lip. Kids with this fetal alcohol syndrome, they don't have that groove. It's smoothed over. Flat midface and short nose. I mean, this looks like Junior. This kid right here absolutely looks like Junior. This is pretty mean. Maybe this is an extreme case. I don't know. That's an animation, obviously. That looks terrible. But you're seeing it. It's the subtle things that you might not even notice once this person reaches adulthood. You probably won't notice, especially. But as children, it's particularly noticeable. They have a certain mongoloid appearance. Epicanthal folds at the eyes. Now, if you're an Asian person, you know that a lot of Asian women in particular have surgery to basically reduce the effect of their epicanthic folds, which is why Asian people tend to have slantier eyes than other folks. But these are, as you can see, mostly white children, and they have the same issue with epicanthal folds here, you see, that a lot of Asian people do. Now, this is an epicanthal fold, which is on the interior of the eye, where epicanthic folds tend to be underneath the eye, if I'm not mistaken. So underneath and above the eye. But it's the same sort of delta, we'll call it. I'm not going to call it a deficiency when it comes to Asian folks. I'm not going to say that. But you can see, I mean, if you've seen pictures of Junior, we're not going to show him here today, but Junior obviously is afflicted by this disease. And it's sad. It's heartbreaking. I feel so bad for that kid, and I wish he had a better chance in life, but same thing happened to my cousin, not alcohol syndrome, but he basically was given a disability by medical care, and his life has been ruined in the same way. So it's a tough thing that we're never going to get 100%, and we have to live with. But in this case, Chrisean Rock is a demon. She's a freaking demon who basically killed her son's chances of ever having a normal life. And there's just no denying that whatsoever. We got more show for you tonight. I told you we were going to be here for a while. We're going to stay on the topic of some dirty, low, rotten women, though. I hate to do this, ladies. I really do, but some of these women out here are acting a fool. This lady who apparently was lined up to be the new Bachelorette got caught on video being an absolute violent nightmare to her ex. And there's a well-documented history of it. This woman is absolutely atrocious. 110% atrocious. And I'm not saying this because I don't like women. I'm saying this because alcohol can be such a big problem in our society. We just saw what it was with Chrisean Rock. We just saw it. This woman here obviously has an alcohol problem as well. She has an anger issue, she has an alcohol problem, and she's quite delusional in terms of who she is. I think ABC was way out of pocket for this one. For inviting, first of all, a single mother to the Bachelorette don't make no damn sense at all. That is not a Bachelorette. That don't make no sense. But then when you learn more about this woman, see this woman, hear her, what were they thinking? Let's spin the clip.
So there's a new season of The Bachelorette coming out, and it got canceled pretty much instantly. And the reason why is because the following video.
Sorry, folks, I got you on the wrong share here. I'm going to flip over to the other browser and get that right for us. Apologies, but we got it now. Here we go.
So there's a new season of The Bachelorette coming out, and it got canceled pretty much instantly. And the reason why is because the following video just surfaced.
Yeah.
So this is The Bachelorette.
Yeah. See, Taylor, this is all you do. It's the only thing you know how to do. Holy shit.
It's okay. I don't give a f.
Let me go.
So this is a mom of three. She's whooping that ass.
Stop. Whooping that ass.
You can see her throw some things.
Dude, leave me.
She's swinging.
Me alone.
Whoa! I'm gonna.
God damn!
Oh, she chucked that thing. And he caught that shit like an action hero.
The PTSD is real.
Oh,
God
her
damn.
daughter's right there.
She's throwing things around the house while her daughter is sitting on the couch, attacking her boyfriend in a drunken rage.
Yeah, well, you know.
I want y'all to look at her, first of all. Take a close look at her as she is on the left side of the screen. On the right side of the screen, you see the dolled up version. This is what we fall for, as she holds a book that says the Book of More Men. But this is what we fall for: hair and makeup, and a pretty dress, and a smile, and a big booty. This is who she is on the left. Wearing some shitty jeans, a white t-shirt, looking raggedy as fuck. Not at all special. She got to do a whole lot of work to look like that and fool your ass. Not that things are based on appearance. But men, we have to stop being suckers for this. We got to see past this on the right so that we don't fall in love with what's on the left accidentally or unknowingly.
Oh, she's throwing another one.
It's right here.
That's the metal one.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that hit her kid. It hit the kid. That's crazy. You hear the kid crying at the end. Okay.
Why are you laughing? Because I got PTSD. You never been in a bar fight and then get hit with a fucking stool. That is crazy.
So this story kind of blew up because of the fact that they just canceled her season of The Bachelorette. I ended up seeing this over here, which is the police report. This is from the Harriman Police Department. When we arrived, we parked on the street, could hear yelling. Its address, the garage of the home was open, and we observed a white Toyota truck parked on the street. The plate returned to a white 2017 Toyota Tacoma registered to Dakota Bo Mortensen. I attempted to contact at the front of the residence while Officer Felsing stayed back at the garage. I rang the doorbell. I could still hear the yelling coming from inside the home. A male and a female answered the door. They were identified as Dakota Bo Mortensen and Taylor Frankie Paul. God, these are some freaky ass names.
Dakota Bo and Taylor Frankie.
Taylor Frankie Paul is her bachelorette. Yeah. They were still arguing when they answered the door. When I asked what was going on, Dakota stated that Taylor was hammered. Taylor responded by saying, "So is he." Dakota stated he was sober. I noted that every time Taylor would raise her hand or harm, Dakota would flinch as if trying to protect himself. I suggested both parties separate. Dakota stated Taylor needed to calm down. Taylor immediately became aggressive and hit Dakota in front of the officer. God damn. I grabbed Taylor's arm and pinned them to her sides and told her to stop and that we were not doing this. Taylor replied, "Okay," but he threw me out in the garage. Already right there, you know, the first thought that goes through my mind? Do you know?
No, because I'm not in your mind, but I'm in mine. And for a dude to flinch every time you raise your hand is crazy. 1. 2, if you're comfortable hitting a motherfucker in front of the cops, I don't know what you're doing.
We know. We saw a video. See his forehead? This is why my fucking cameras...
Yeah. But even on cam or whatever, like, you must do some crazier shit.
Mm-hmm.
You threw the thing and hit your daughter, you kept on going. That is crazy.
I think they were sober because, to my knowledge, Mormons don't drink. And we all know they follow every rule.
Yeah.
Stop the cap.
The only thing I will say, what was really run through my mind is this officer should have already arrested her ass. Like, imagine being a dude smacking the shit out of your partner in front of a cop and not thinking you're not going to get slammed.
Oh, you swinging? I'm a cop. You're swinging? You're gone.
It should be that. Right now, they're just restraining, saying we're not doing this. But I'm like, she should be in handcuffs and already being hauled off.
If it was a man, he'd be in handcuffs.
What do you mean we're not doing this? You already did that.
That's it.
Cough him.
While attempting to separate Taylor and Dakota.
I'm no red pillar, but men deserve as much protection as women. These women are more manly than they've ever been, more violent, more drunk, more aggressive than they have ever been, more gun-toting, more gym lifting. They're a lot more like us than they have ever been, and they will raise up on you.
Taylor wanted her phone. I told Taylor we could get her phone. She believed Dakota had it on him. She walked towards Officer Felsing and Dakota. How was she walking anywhere, my nigga? While she was walking, it was apparent that Taylor was alcohol impaired as she struggled to walk straight and had to use a wall to stabilize herself. Dakota did not have Taylor's phone like she thought. Dakota stated Taylor threw her phone at him. Taylor found her phone on the floor of the kitchen. I followed Taylor to the front, spoke to her on the steps. I interviewed Taylor about the events that occurred this evening. I could smell odor of alcohol coming from her. Additionally, Taylor had slurred speech, struggled to maintain her train of thought. Throughout my contact with Taylor, she would ask the same question repeatedly, even after receiving an answer. I asked if Taylor needed paramedics, and she stated she did not. Taylor made the following statements. Taylor stated she hit Dakota and did not want to think about it. After returning home, Taylor and Dakota began fighting. Taylor was going at Dakota when Dakota pushed her into the kids' stuff. After being pushed, Taylor said she went ballistic. Taylor stated she did not think she had any injuries, but her fingers hurt.
Don't just get canceled. Prosecute the fuck out of her.
Agreed.
It's not just that, oh, the show's... Fuck that. Fuck a show. Prosecute the fuck out of her. That's someone that beats human beings. Jail. Straight to jail.
Bachelorette Taylor Frankie says domestic investigation feels like the end of the world. Paul confirmed reports that the show has been paused production. You know, it's just fascinating because you guys might think this happened last week. No, this happened a while ago. And the wild part is that she was given the Bachelorette a year after this had happened. And I have to ask the question, what kind of background checks are they running on these people before giving them reality TV shows? Where you have like open investigations of domestic and all this stuff going around you, right? And I mean, listen, girl got 3 kids, cheated on her last partner before divorce.
How is that a Bachelorette? How is this somebody worthy of starring in a television show as some symbol of an American woman? How? Pray tell, how the fuck is she a Bachelorette, ABC?
Him, and then you become the Bachelorette, which, you know, maybe that's where Bachelorette is now. But the domestic thing is just crazy, is it not?
It is. It was caught right there. And it was not even just caught on 4K. It was the police officers witness it.
The police reports from 2023. 2023.
That's a whole last 6 years. What are we doing?
Wait, 3 years. How many years did you say? 6 years? 3 years.
3 years. It's like, what are we doing? And still no
jail time. And you get a reality TV, The Bachelorette.
That's money right there. Your social media is popping. I mean, I guess they caught it in time, but it's just crazy they got to that point. Like, if I was the producer, I'd be pissed. Someone's getting fired. How am I investing so much money in this thing called The Bachelorette? And we're supposed to air it out, so we paid a whole bunch of people for publicity. We're not getting a refund. And when we're supposed to air out the show, this shit come out. How come we didn't know about this?
Oh my gosh, he was on TV? To my knowledge, I believe ABC, and more importantly, Disney, owns The Bachelor, and now they're giving her a chance to come on. I think this is like them trying to do a small PR softening blow, and so they gave her this interview that should have never happened.
Co-star Mom Talk and The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Taylor Frankie Paul is with us. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
I want to hear all about your Bachelorette journey, but first I want to give you the opportunity to respond to recent headlines about the alleged domestic incident with your ex-boyfriend. What do you want to share with us about this?
Honestly, it's been a heavy time to see the headlines, especially during this time of The Bachelorette being released, and it's supposed to be a really exciting time. I'm a person that will always speak my truth.
She need to be on Bad Girls Club, not Bachelorette.
And that's what I'm known for, and so when the time is right, I will.
Caught me. Speak My Truth is an original. It's an original. When someone tells you, I'm gonna speak my truth, run. Because that means it's a lie. It's not the truth. It's gonna be a load of bullshit after that.
I mean, my issue with this, me just watching it, is thinking to myself, what world is a man on video or there's reports of him beating some girl and he's on Good Morning America the next day?
Right.
Like having this whole PR thing.
It took Chris Brown 5-6 years.
Like, I get it's probably ABC trying to get ahead of this and protecting their investment, but how fucking disgustingly inappropriate is it? And for her to shamelessly show up here knowing what she did, look at her face. I mean, look at her face now.
Shit. Yeah, what is that?
Oh, yeah, she looked like she aged like 30 seconds.
God, bro.
That's crazy.
But right now, just trying to be in the present moment and focus on this.
Make it make sense,
the thing is, my kids do come first. My kids come first, and so it's been like just a back and forth process, trying to be here in the present moment, worrying about, home and headlines. It's been stressful, to be honest.
We did reach out to Dakota, and we did not, for a statement, we did not get a response from him.
Sorry.
Oh, this nigga.
My kids come first, except when I'm throwing a metal stool.
Am I crazy?
Then it comes.
Does this not look like Charlie Kirk a bit?
But he looks better than Charlie.
Nah. I'm not gonna speak. Yeah, I am. Fuck that dude. Look at them dolphin teeth looking like Gumby and shit. Gums all exposed and shit. Just nah. And that motherfucking hairline, boy.
Charlie Kirk, he looks definitely better.
Yeah, I think I think this is what he would look like if Charlie Kirk wasn't premature. Someone in the chat wrote, "Stop, he's already dead."
I know there's a season on right now, and then season 5 was in production. Reports say it's paused. Is that true?
Honestly,
Okay.
I don't call the shots with production. So as of now, I have gotten word that it also has been paused, but I do not call those shots. So hard to say now, right? Just because of, you know, everything going on. It's hard to see past this. I'm not going to lie. In this moment, it's just so heavy. When your life is broadcasted out there in these headlines, it's like the end of the world. That's what it feels like. I'm not going to lie. But I will say I've been here before and I got through it and, you know, shared my story, my light. So I'm hoping that I can do that again.
Yeah, and you're about to share your journey with all of us on The Bachelorette, your journey looking for real.
Did y'all hear her say she was sorry about what she did? Because I didn't.
Love. Tell me about the decision to do it and why.
Well, for me, you know, the girls had gotten the opportunity to do Dancing with the Stars, right?
Yeah.
And so I looked at that and I was like, well, if they can do it and they have kids and they are going out chasing their dreams, like, why can't I?
Get the fuck out of here, bro. I'm sorry. No.
The fucking shamelessness. No. I don't even want to watch the rest of this because it's actually so nasty, but.
Still trying to promote the show, dude.
Yeah, of course. They're doing PR.
They're not, it's not a oh, let's just like do a damage control. They're still trying to promote the goddamn show.
Yep.
Showing images of the show. That's disgusting. While you see what happened and you're still trying to fucking sell some shit, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Because I don't see any instance of a bachelor doing the same thing. And yo, that's just disgusting, man.
No, we definitely agree on that. You know, someone might say, you know, maybe they saw the footage after the fact, but you have to imagine. I know this from having to do specific types of shows, especially for someone like her who's going to be a lead of the show. There's a lot of vetting that happens before they select whoever the bachelor or bachelorette's going to be. A lot of vetting. How do you miss something like that? From 2023, open. I'm sorry. Either they buried it or they're highly incompetent. But the idea that this would come out, the first thing you're thinking of doing is PR. Maybe they saw the video after the interview. And so after that, that's when they decided to finally pull the plug. But just this whole reaction is so odd. A dude having this same kind of fucking drama involved. Y'all really think he's getting even half the leeway?
He's not.
He's not. And part of the and the reason why I bring this up is part of this atmosphere is what enables some people to feel even comfortable enough to hit people. Because they know they will get away with it. The idea that you're just going to hit your partner like that in front of a cop is crazy.
It is.
But the cop doesn't.
And when he says people, he means women. Men know we can't get away with that. Women believe that they can still get away with it. Some women do. Because men, most of us have too much pride to call the police. Truth be told.
Arrest her.
No, they said like we're not going to do this. We're not doing this. Whoop.
When it came to this story, I think I was just a bit shocked by the whole thing and the fact that she got an interview and she's like, "Oh my God, it feels like the end of the world." But I mean, even before this, like I don't know, someone who's divorced, who cheated on their husband, got multiple kids, and like they becoming the bachelorette. I just find this all very odd. Like you got these people with like swinger sex lifestyles, but maybe. Even the low barometer I already had for the Bachelorette, maybe it wasn't low enough.
Agreed. Abba and Preach, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure everybody here is familiar with Abba and Preach. I've been viewing them for I don't know how long. I've been on YouTube since probably 2010. So I've been watching Abba and Preach probably since the beginning. Once their popularity started to explode. Some wise guys, man. Salute to Canada. Thank you for the insight. Thank you for the wonderful basketball players you've been sending us here in America. We're going to keep it moving. We got a lot more show tonight as we move on from that story. Again, women behaving badly. We see it all the time now where we didn't see it before, and I'm sure it was there before. But now it's on video in 4K, and studies have shown that women are drinking way more than they ever did in history, especially in America. Now, there's some decrease in alcoholism since the legalization of marijuana in most states in America. But women's portions of that alcoholism is steady and going up. So Ladies, I warn you, alcohol is probably one of the worst drugs out here. It just is. It's socially acceptable, but alcohol destroys more lives in America than probably any other drug, and we just sell it like water. There's no moral war on drugs when you're selling alcohol. We got a lot more. We're going to lean into the political side of things. Of course, we're at war. I haven't spoken too much on the Iran war. I've left some community posts, but I haven't really spoken about what's going on. So I'm going to cut the music. This is a very, very sensitive and heavy topic. So I want to give it all the time and attention that it deserves and all the seriousness that it deserves. As a veteran of the United States Army, as a U.S. citizen, as an American, I am ashamed, I am embarrassed, and I am afraid because of what my country has done and what my country is doing. Donald Trump is a cancer on the world, but especially on the people of Iran, the people of the Caribbean, the people of Venezuela, and the people of the United States. Donald Trump has turned the United States into the world's leading pariah nation. Donald Trump has effectively ended democracy in America and threatens to do away with whatever norms we have left when it comes to a democratic society in America, which in my opinion was never truly democratic in the first place. The idea of a constitutional republic that misapportions representation based on landmass as opposed to based on people, and constantly plays games with that representation in both houses and chambers of Congress, the lower chamber of Congress, not both. But that country is not serious about real democracy. Real democracy, in my opinion, is one person, one vote. No 60-vote supermajority thresholds in the upper chamber, which is a form of manipulation and anti-democratic. And America is losing its facade. It's losing its Potemkin Village-esque nature with its beautiful storefronts that are two-dimensional with nothing behind them. The paper tiger that is the United States military is only superior to countries who do not have nuclear weapons. The leadership in this country only takes advantage of nations that do not have nuclear weapons. It does not want to fight with a country that is nuclear armed. It does not want a fair fight. It has never wanted a fair fight. So here we are, strapped with an idiot, egomaniac, with a nuclear trigger, and he's 80 years old, and he's dying, and he's reckless, and hateful, and racist, and divisive, and tyrannical, and law-breaking, and felonious, and treasonous, and seditionous every single day. We have an American president who has enriched himself to the tune of anywhere from $10 to $20 billion in less than 15 months through utter exploitation, through sheer manipulation, and through use of the United States military. Donald Trump sequestered Venezuelan oil and has the revenue flowing to an offshore account in Qatar that only he controls and only he can access. Hundreds of millions of dollars flowing into that account every month. Donald Trump is suing his own IRS for $10 billion. His own IRS for $10 billion. Donald Trump took a $10 billion VIG from the sale of TikTok, a $17 billion sale, and he got $10 billion of the proceeds. If you're doing the math at home, he's probably up 20 to 25 billion in all reality. And we're not talking about his kids yet and his son-in-law. What did you get? What did you get? Did you get better schools? Did you get lower prices at the stores? Is gas going down? Are your energy costs going down? Are the price of goods going down on anything? Are you safer than you were 3 weeks ago before this idiot invaded a country that no American president would dare do because they knew what the outcome would be? But we have a fool and an idiot who allowed himself to be compromised by Jeffrey Epstein and other Mossad agents, including his son-in-law, to the degree that Benjamin Netanyahu has seized control of the United States government from Israel and is now willing the United States and commanding the United States military. I call upon every member of the United States Armed Forces to resist and refuse all illegal orders. I am a veteran of the United States Army, a former non-commissioned officer, a sergeant. Refuse all improper and illegal orders. Do not resign your post. If you are a person of good judgment in the United States military, we need you there. Because the more of you who leave, the more of them will follow in after you. And the more the ideology that they're trying to enforce through the United States Air Force with Erica Kirk, that they've been pushing in the United States Air Force for decades, this white Christian evangelical prophecy that they've been pushing in the Air Force for decades, unbeknownst to most of you. Turning Point is now heading the Air Force. Turning Point is now in your high schools, or trying to get into your high schools. America has fallen into the hands of Zionists and the worst white Christian evangelicals available, led by an immoral, amoral, gangster, scumbag, likely child molester, likely murderer, adjudicated rapist, 34-time convicted felon, convicted of fraud, barred from ever owning a charity in the state of New York, mobster. He is governing the country like a mafia boss in every aspect, and he tries to do it to the rest of the world. He told our allies, our former allies, because we have no allies anymore, he told our former allies to kiss our ass. He waged tariff war on them, which we wound up paying for, not them. We wound up paying for. And who benefited? Did you benefit? Did you? No, you did not. You know who benefited? China, Brazil, India, Russia, BRICS benefited. The rest of the world that is coalescing away from the United States with all intention because of the political choices that these yoo-hoos made, in putting this fucking felon back in office. Because of all that, you and I are all close to nuclear annihilation. Because we elected the only person in the world egotistical enough and stupid enough to think that he can get away with a nuclear strike. You can't. If you do it, other countries may show restraint. If it's a limited strike, they may show restraint. But Iran will definitely not. Iran will ensure that there are dirty bombs in the United States. They will ensure that they strike back in the heartland. And what, pray tell, might that lead to? You slinging more nukes, more escalation. If you got away with it the first time, if you thought you got away with it the first time. There is no getting away with it. There is none. And if you're China and Russia and you're dependent on that oil out of Iran and we're threatening to nuke Iran, we're threatening to essentially end your economies. We get about 2% of our oil from the Strait of Hormuz. It's not hurting American supplies that much, especially now that we done jacked Venezuela, which is really what permitted this. That was the precursor. The United States, the United States had great potential at one point. The white people of this country have robbed it of that potential. The white evangelical Christians and the white Zionists in this country are 100% responsible for its downfall. And its downfall is happening 250 years right on schedule. We are less than 4 months away from 250 years, and we're right on schedule for our collapse. You know, we have pled with white Americans to see everyone else's humanity for eons. We have pled with white Americans to be equitable. We've had movements, movie after movie, talk after talk, plenary after plenary, book after book, YouTube video after YouTube video, trying very much to say to these people, we're just like you. We're not different. Stop treating us different. It's the disparate treatment that produces the disparate results. We're not in the majority. We don't control a damn thing. We don't. We never have. You handicap our power. You put our men in prison by the boatload to keep our numbers down. Do you know how many African American people there would be in this country by now if we didn't have mass incarceration for 50 years now? 30 years now, roughly? There'd be at least twice as many of us. Look at the birth rate in Nigeria, and then look at the birth rate amongst Black Americans, and you will see how dramatically different it is. Because they take the black man and put him in a cell to prevent him from spreading his seed. They over-police the hell out of us for an excuse to do that. We don't commit any more crime than anyone else does. But if the police had a microscope up everyone's butt, the way that they have up our butts, you would find your crime rates rising. You would find your violence rising. You would find desperation in your community and all sorts of problems rising. Not to mention the historical affects of slavery, which are genetic at this point. So, where we are in this world is still in a position of division by race and religion. The Middle East is the abject example, the United States as well, are the two most abject examples of human division by race and religion. And until we overcome these matrices, literally the human matrix is race, religion, gender. Literally. That's how they divide us at every turn. Until we overcome those prejudices and biases against each other, this is exactly what's going to continue. We're going to continue to circle the drain. We are going to continue to head closer to mushroom clouds on the horizon. And I, for one, will stare it in the fucking face and eat it, because I don't want to live through that shit. Personally, I do not want to live through that shit. So that's my take on what we're going through here in America, the Iran war as a whole. We've been on for 2 hours and 45 minutes now. This is the longest live I've ever done. And you're going to get more. You're going to get more from me. I don't always feel like doing it, but when I feel like doing it, this is what you're going to get. I don't care if there's one person watching or 10 people watching. We're going to put out good content. We're going to have stuff to put out through the week as well. So, again, make sure you share these videos, hit the like button, and subscribe. Moving on to our next video on the topic of the war on Iran. Former Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, Republican of Georgia, who has her problems, to be sure, as a person. In my opinion, she's a bigot. In my opinion, she is a Christian Zionist. Not a Zionist, but a Christian zealot. One of the white Christian evangelicals I spoke of moments ago. But I live by the 80-20 principle, and I'm going to agree with most people 80% of the time and disagree 20% of the time. On this, Marjorie Taylor Greene and I completely agree. Let's spin the clip.
Iran is now taunting President Trump for asking American allies for help in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran's foreign minister said of the U.S., quote, "They carried out large-scale attacks and again repeated the demand for unconditional surrender. Today, they are turning to other countries for help." He also argued the Strait of Hormuz is, quote, "only closed to our enemies." Joining us now to discuss this and more is former Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia. Thanks for coming on, Congresswoman. So we all know you
Bitch look like George Washington.
were a longtime loyal supporter of President Trump, but you broke with him in part because you felt he was too focused on foreign affairs rather than the America First promises he made on the campaign trail. As we enter day 17 of the Iran war, do you believe the president's voters can trust him?
Well, just to be clear, the president broke with me over the Epstein files. So that always has to be said. He called me a traitor because I stood with women who were raped when they were 14 and 16. But I do completely disagree where the president has led the country. You know what? It makes absolutely no sense, Pamela, going into midterm elections. Let's remove Donald Trump out of it. Let's just put any president in there. Why would an American president lead his political party into the midterms, waging a full-scale major war, completely unprovoked on Iran, on behalf of Israel, and that's the way most Americans see it. They see this is for Israel, not for America. Why would an American president do that, which is forcing gas prices to hike right here going into spring break, where families are going to be driving out of town, going into summer, declaring and waging a major full-scale war that seems to have no end in sight, that is not de-escalating, it's escalating every single day, and it just doesn't make sense. And the American people did not vote for this. This is not what we campaigned for, Pamela. I went to, I can't even tell you, countless rallies all over the country for President Trump, campaigning for him and Republicans because we wanted to win. And we said on every single rally stage, no more foreign wars, no more regime change. It's time to put America first. And this is a complete betrayal of those campaign promises.
So is that what you're hearing on the ground in Georgia, where obviously there are a lot of Trump supporters where you are? Are you hearing from them that they believe President Trump is doing this on behalf of Israel? Bring us there.
It's actually very split, and it's split along generational lines. Many of the older Americans from the baby boomer generation that watch Fox News all day long very much believe the talking points on Fox News, and they've spent decades of their lives convinced that fighting these wars is the right thing to do. But the younger generations, I'm Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z are very much against this war. And so when you talk to people on the ground, that's how it comes across. It's very generational, and the younger generations are completely against it. We want world peace. We want good trade. We want a great economy.
Right.
We want to lower inflation, lower the cost of housing, and younger generations want to be able to afford their American lives, and they don't want their taxpayer dollars shipped off to, and you can fill in any foreign country. We'll take Israel out of it. They don't want their money sent overseas.
God damn it, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I hate to agree with you so much, but I'm going to tell the truth, man. She cooking. She's absolutely cooking. I don't mind foreign aid if it's going to a good cause. You know, people starve, people mass disease, all that stuff. I don't mind if it's going to a good cause, man. We should help humanity out. But what Marjorie Taylor Greene just said about economics in particular was 100% correct. This is what Americans want. We don't want this bullshit. The rest of the world don't want this bullshit. I'm all for isolationism, but in reverse. If you can't get with the civilized world, then we will isolate your ass extremely hard until you do. That's what we've done in North Korea traditionally, and it's worked wonderfully for everyone else to keep North Korea at bay. That's what we've done to Iran for the most part, and it's worked wonderfully to keep them at bay for almost everyone. Israel, well, you were created in 1948, a European ethnic state in the middle of the brown Middle East, and you don't think you're going to be attacked?
And you know what? They're right for saying this. This is absolutely absurd, and it's 100% a betrayal to what MAGA was supposed to be when we voted in 2024, and it's turned into some perverted, deranged version of MAGA now that nobody wants. And a lot of people are just like, this doesn't make sense. And I'll go further, Pamela. We love our military, and God bless the men and women serving, and we love their families, and we do not want to see flag-draped coffins coming home in a war that does nothing for our own homeland. And then I want to add on something else. How insulting is it to Americans that the GOP can't even fund Homeland Security right now, our own government that protects our own homeland, while they're waging some war like 6,800 miles away?
$1 billion a day is what we're spending on this Iran war. At a minimum, $1 billion a day. Your kids can't get their education funded. Your grandma can't get health care. We can't get our roads and airports improved and our bridges and infrastructure improved. This country needs so much, but we're willing to spend $1 billion a day on this, on Israel. Israel has universal health care. Israel has damn near free college for their kids, if not free, for all of them. Israel has all the first world amenities that Americans, particularly those on the left, have been begging for. While we pay reparations to Israel, while we pay billions of dollars in aid to Israel every year, and while we give them munitions that we pay for. While we support a genocide that none of us agree with. It's fucking disgusting. As an American, fucking disgusting. I hate to agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene about anything.
Way in a country that none of us have ever been to, against the foreign people that none of us know, killing many of these people, even to the point of killing their children. It's just absolutely absurd.
I want to follow up with you on what you just said. You said, you have been on stages, you campaigned for President Trump, and part of that was no more foreign wars. Vice President Vance has lambasted past administrations for sending American troops into conflicts without a clear mission. And even President Trump said that Vance himself expressed some reservations about the Iran war at first. Do you think this war hurts Vice President Vance's chances of becoming President Trump's successor in 2028?
The longer it goes on, it definitely does hurt J.D. Vance, and that's someone that I campaigned for aggressively. I was the first member of Congress to endorse him in the Senate, and I was one of the loudest voices in the room asking for him to be vice president, the vice presidential candidate. J.D. Vance and I are very aligned in our policy beliefs in America First, as well as Tulsi Gabbard and others in the administration. Though we all see things very much the same way, but we're also the younger generation. And I can tell you, I won't speak for anyone, but there are people in the administration, high up in the administration, I know that don't support this, but the longer they stay silent, it hurts them. It definitely hurts them in the future.
I know you don't want to name names, but I mean, it raises the question whether you have spoken directly to the Vice President J.D. Vance and what your message is to those Republicans you've been speaking to who are in positions of power, who are not speaking publicly and staying silent in this moment.
Well, I'm not saying that I did speak with the vice president, and I'm not saying who I have spoken to or have not spoken to. I know where they're at on the issue, and I leave it up to them to come public with it. They know that their base, they know that the large majority of Americans, especially younger Americans, that's the future of America, are 1,000% against this. And, my parents are the baby boomer generation. There's so many good, peace-loving baby boomers that are against war, and God bless them for that. But the baby boomers in power, the ones clinging to power right now, it feels like they're literally wrecking the ship that we're all on board, and that they're destroying our future. Yep. Like, when are we going to get Social Security checks? We don't know. Are our children ever going to have any type of future like all of us did? It doesn't seem likely. And this war is going out of control. And it's really insulting to watch America's position in the world, where the president just bullies and name calls and
I want to talk about the baby boomers too. My parents were born in the silent generation. They're basically the same age as Joe Biden. Silent generation was right before the baby boomers. So my parents were born in 42. My father's a Vietnam veteran, Marine. He's not pro-war. No. He saw hell. He saw war. And he saw the worst war we ever had, pretty much, aside from this. Maybe the Civil War was bloodier. It definitely was bloodier. But he saw that nightmare in Vietnam, and he knows that Iran is going to be the exact same thing should we mass invade. Things have changed since Vietnam. The United States does not maintain a large standing army in terms of manpower. So with Iran having a 1 million-man army, we don't have anything near that when it comes to ground forces. So it will require a draft if we are going to have a full-scale ground invasion of Iran. Otherwise, we're just sending Americans to die for Donald Trump's vanity, which is what's already happening. Of course, the hope is that Donald Trump realizes his folly and tries to stick to his 5-week timeline. It seems like they're starting to backpedal a little bit. But again, Marjorie Taylor Greene is dead on with what she's saying again here with regards to, young people and their future being affected by this. Are they going to be drafted into this war? Are they going to have an economy that can serve them? And then people like myself who are, looking forward to retirement. I've been paying into Social Security since I was 14 years old. And these baby boomers threaten to take it every time they get power. They threaten to take our retirement. This is the first generation that screwed over its kids so badly that they will not have a country that serves them in the same way. Baby boomers had access to free college. A lot of them. Especially take the state of California. Ronald Reagan came and threw that out as governor of California. Baby boomers had access to all sorts of programs after the war. All sorts of grants, all sorts of GI Bill, all sorts of social benefits that they got as a group of people that enabled them to become the largest middle class in the history of America. When the marginal tax rate, the highest marginal tax rate in the United States, was 91% in 1955 when Dwight D. Eisenhower was president. That was the peak of their era. 1955 through 1960, leading up to the Vietnam War, was the peak of the baby boomers era. They got so rich and so fat that they became soft. And they allowed people like Ronald Reagan to take away affordable college or free college in California and other states. They allowed them to come in and deny people health care en masse. They allowed things like rescission and insurance. They allowed all of these things to happen to their children. Student loans, for example, is probably the greatest crime that they committed against my generation. Now they're allowing us to pay for their retirement until we're in our 50s and 60s, and now they want to make sure that we don't have it. They want to pull the rug from under us and put our retirement on the stock market, which they tend to take advantage of every chance that they get and crash. The reason we have Social Security retirement and not privatized retirement is to protect us from the whims of the stock market. It is a horrible idea to be entirely reliant as an elderly person on the whims of the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ. Horrible, horrible paradigm. So we have a system of insurance that we all pay a premium to. And that is what sustains us in our elderly years. I can go online right now and see what my Social Security benefits are going to be as of retirement ages. I can do that right now. Can I say that that's going to be there for me in 13, 14 years when I'm ready to retire? Honestly, I can't. I cannot say that the United States government won't absolutely fuck me over and take every dollar that I put into this program and not give me shit. Because that is how nefarious and greedy this baby boomer generation has been. And Donald Trump is the emblem of their gluttonous, greedy, destructive ways. They didn't care about destroying the environment when they were told you're going to throw so much carbon in the air that you're going to fuck up the environment for life, forever. They didn't care. As long as they were getting rich off of oil. They've known this shit since at least the 70s. What are they doing? Still fighting wars for oil. Netanyahu and Trump, baby boomers. They're disgusting. They're disgusting. And medical technology is keeping their asses alive. Running for re-election in their 80s and 90s. Staying on the Supreme Court until they die and letting us be strapped with a 6-3 Republican court because this idiot Ruth Bader Ginsburg thought she could beat cancer a fifth fucking time in her 80s. I'm exhausted with America. I'm truly exhausted. This Iran war could very well lead to the end of our lives and the end of humanity as we know it. And Donald Trump is just the right person to deliver that. Let's spin the clip.
and basically harasses foreign leaders all over the world and many of our allies, to the point now where he's calling them in to help open the strait so that these very important oil ships can get through. Many of them are not responding. And here Americans spent, trillions of dollars in our tax dollars defending all of our allies with military bases on these countries' homelands, protecting them, especially Europe and NATO, but yet they are not quick to respond. But I would argue it's because of the way the president has been treating them. And this is pushing America into a very serious situation that we should not be in. We should not be losing our relationships with countries all over the world. We should not be getting further and further ingrained into a very violent and dangerous, serious war with Iran that has very serious future implications. And we should not be seeing our great military men and women coming home in flag-draped coffins. It needs to end.
I'm just wondering, given what you laid out, do you regret your past support for President Trump, campaigning for him and being so vocal about your support, given your concerns now?
Pamela, I meant everything I said on the campaign trail in 2024. The part that is disheartening to me is that it appears to not only myself but many others that President Trump did not mean it. And we are basing that on his actions and his decisions and the priorities that he has made important and first to him, which are 100% departure of what we campaigned on in 2024. So I would, to answer that, nothing has changed about me. I'm America first. I'm conservative. I have a voting record to prove it. But I cannot support this president when he completely turns his back on MAGA and what he sold to the American people for so many years in his campaign promises in 2024.
I don't know why, but I believe her, yo. I believe her. I hate to believe Marjorie Taylor Greene about a damn thing, but no, she's dead on. And maybe Trump is, I've had digestive issues for the last couple of years that I've been dealing with. And sometimes you just need something nasty to make you upchuck what's ailing you down there or to push it out the other end. You know what I'm saying? And I think that Donald Trump is like that violent laxative that makes your bowels rumble so hard that you don't know if it's going to come out of your mouth or the other end. But you know that problem is about to be solved. And what I mean by this is that Donald Trump is such a toxin to the body politic that it's disrupting the normal digestive process of American politics, if I can be so metaphoric. Donald Trump is forcing people like me and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Joe Kent to agree on principle. He's that disgusting that he is creating in politics what they refer to as strange bedfellows. That's how disgusting he is. Donald Trump is going to change the Republican Party forever in the regards that he's either going to destroy them completely or he's going to make them hardcore reformists. Marjorie Taylor Greene is starting to sound like a hardcore reformist. I am a hardcore reformist. If I am elected to public office someday, my whole platform is going to be reform if it's not done by then. I believe the American political system is so corrupt and so extremely detrimental to its citizenry and quality of life that it's unsustainable. We are the wealthiest country in the world, but not because the people have the most money. We have the most billionaires and near trillionaires. The rest of us are broke as hell. We got just enough money to stun on each other. That's it. While they're buying countries, while they're sending your children to die for their profits. Ask yourself this. If the global oil supply is disrupted, which American electric vehicle car company stands to benefit the most? Would that be Tesla, for example? This is the 3D chess that they refer to. The 3D chess is dividing people among the matrices of race and religion so that they can then use those motivations to extract profit violently, if need be, from wherever they choose. That is what the system of capitalism has brought us globally, not just in the United States. It's a global enterprise that really began with the triangular Atlantic slave trade from Africa and the colonialization by Europeans around the world. So, folks, I think this has been a pretty daggone action-packed, great show. I hope you all enjoyed it. I know I did. We got a lot of editing to do. I'm going to cut this up into pieces, of course. We've been on for the last 3 hours and 10 minutes. This is the longest stream that I've ever done. And I really enjoyed it. This is different for me, and I enjoyed it more, I will say, because I relaxed and I just took my time about it. In the past, I've tried to fit it into tight windows because I was worried about, my schedule or what have you. But if I do this on the weekends, I believe that we can have these longer, more therapeutic, more in-depth conversations about today's material and today's hot topics. And I think we can all enjoy it a little bit more, and especially me. But I don't want to ever bring you a rushed product. I am a little bit of a perfectionist. And so, it comes with quirks. Absolutely, it comes with quirks. But I will continue to try to bring you the highest quality content as often as possible right here on Pass the Joint Podcast. I'm your host. This is Reaction Nation. I am Zen Master. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell, all that good stuff. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for subscribing. Saluting the gang, my mans. Wilt Stumbling, thank you for always supporting. Everyone else who chatted with us tonight and viewed, thank you for tuning in and for chatting. And I'll be here tomorrow. Peace.
What it is?
Are you kidding?
No, not that. You read everything, you know what it is. Come on.
You know what it is.
You know what it is.
Are you kidding?
No, not that. You read everything, you know what it is. Come on.
You know what it is.
You know what it is.
Are you kidding me?
No, not that. You read everything, you know what it is. Come on.
You know what it is.
You know what it is.
Are you kidding me?
No, not that. You read everything, you know what it is. Come on.
You know what it is.
You know what it is.
Are you kidding me?
No, not that. You read everything, you know what it is. Come on.
You know what? Johnstown pain, but it gave me a spark. Lit my path bright when the world was dark. Oak Street raised me. I left my mark. Yeah. Raise on my waddy, raise on a waddy, raise on a waddy, raise on a waddy. Road crashed down pain, but it gave me a spark. Lit my path bright when the world was dark. Oak Street raised me, I left my mark. Raise on a waddy, raise on a waddy, raise on a waddy, raise on a waddy.